Let's see. Okay. All right, we had a pretty cool session last session. Hey, look, I made you guys a war camp. All right.
Ooh, fancy.
So, let's hop to it. Okay, what did we get up to? You guys formed an army. The Amazon Council had formed, and despite the odds and having assessed their resources, they decided that they must advance. They must advance upon the giants to bring an end to them. Let's see what else happens here. Katara leaves ingredients for potions of giant strength with the Amazon tribes of the waters, as along with about 500 gold pieces to create various potions of healings with. Thalia begins the join the Orion clan in scouting missions as she uses project image to peer into the giant lair, and though very successfully initially, it was hard to advance thereafter. More than quick looks into the giant capital. What else? Oh yes, Ouroboros met the woman who originally jumped his bones when he came to Themyscira, and she is pregnant, which is cool. The next day, as you guys begin to take your advance into giant country, Silenos scouts. Same thing happens to Ouroboros. He gets, attacked, we'll call it, by Amazon women. Thalia and Niobe seem to begin to evolve in their connection and their relationship. Something meaningful begins to form to them. Niobe used to be very reserved, but seems much more interested in pursuing Thalia at this point. Thalia continues to scout with project image. But it is on day 3 of the march that Thalia goes to try and scout again, but Gyasi quite keenly points out that a small bird-like creature might be easier to spy with than her regular size. And so some quick maneuvering with the help of Gyasi's brilliance, Katara's polymorph magic, and Thalia's projecting image abilities, you create a much more convincing spy behind enemy ranks. And Thalia is successfully projecting image for the next hour as a little baby bird, I believe, a little tiny owl. And you guys have 2 more days before you reach the giant capital with your army. It has been noted from Thalia's plans that the might and numbers of the giant army are exceptional. And in a straight-up conflict, the Amazons probably would not survive the battle. But they continue to forward on anyway and hope to find a more, perhaps, cunning plan to solve the coming crisis in the meantime. But for now, Thalia, we will start with you as you find yourself to be a little owl, a little tiny owl, scouting out the giant capital. You can do this for the next hour. You can do it for as long as you want, but you will be an owl for the next hour. So, as I believe we left it, you had become your little owl form behind the initial giant guard at the gates to the major palace at the top of all of these earth moats. What do you do?
Can I, when the door opens, can I fly in?
Okay. We're gonna see how long it takes for the door to open. This is a pretty important place, so it shouldn't be too long. You don't wait too long. You only wait about 4 minutes before the doors begin to open to whatever giants were within, and you quickly make your way through the tiny crack above and into the palace proper. It is huge. It is a palace meant for a giant. I have no idea how I'm going to represent this in Talespire, but I can find a way. You fly in and it is I'm not gonna say it's opulent. That is not it's not gilded or opulent or has fine jewelings or such. Um, but there are a combination of various different elements to do with all of giant kind. There are pictures of great and ancient battles of the giants, the titans as well. Uh, Beautiful carved stonework, statues of metal, gilding in like irons and steel and ores taken from the earth. This initial entry palace is maybe not as opulent or as beautiful as Olympus, but nonetheless quite massive. Um, there are many routes and places you could go. Let's see. I'm going to say that there is a door to your left or a hallway to your left and right. And there is obviously like a very big, grandiose double door at the top of a set of stairs before you. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Is anyone talking or anyone in this space?
I think in this particular space, let's find out if anyone's there right. Nobody in this space right here initially, but why don't you roll me a little owl perception check? So that's gonna be d20 plus 3. See if you can see anything.
Sorry. 16.
16. With your owl ears, you do hear the sort of deep grumblings of speaking coming from both the right and the left hallway. There's probably activity, giant activity going on down there, conversation.
I'll head towards the conversation.
Would you like to go left or right?
Right.
Okay, cool. You head right. Okay. You wander down. You do see some fire giants, well-armed fire giants within. They seem to be sort of the gate guard, if you will. And you head down to find, to hear more talking coming from within. You could like land on basically like the head of one of those fire giants if you want. You get a sense they probably wouldn't notice you. You're so very tiny. Or perch wherever you'd like to try and get a good ear on the door nearby where a lot of speaking is coming from. Is that what you like to do?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm super distracted.
Okay, would you like to come back? Would you like us to come back to you if you're distracted?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to, honestly, I just want to like get like a better layout of the place and get an idea of like how many forces are around, and if they're talking, I'd like to listen in. I try to
Got it.
find Palas if possible.
So why don't we make it simple? Because I'm like I said, I don't quite have the structure of the palace picked out quite yet. As it is meant for a giant. So why don't we do this? Roll me an investigation check as an owl to sort of tactically scan the layout, see the troop movements. You will have a -4 on this per being an owl. They are not the most tactical of creatures.
Okay.
Not a terribly high DC, though.
I got a 1.
Oh, no. Do you have anything to add to that? Probably not, as an owl. You go looking around. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Before you go doing the tactical thing, you're at this door. Let's see if we get something out of that. Make me a perception check. So that's +3 again.
And I get advantage, right, for keen hearing and sight.
Oh, yeah, you do. I didn't know owls got it for hearing. I thought it was only for sight. So yeah, you'll have advantage.
It's a natural one. It's a 9. So 12.
12. Okay, from that particular conversation, you're only picking up little, like it's mostly muffled. It's difficult to hear through the thick doors, but you do pick up some of the conversation. You pick out some keywords, especially. You hear such as like, oh shit. Do you understand giant language?
Nope.
Nope. You hear a lot of giant talking.
But I've
I'm sorry to
got
say.
tongues at will, so does that carry through the owl?
I will. Is it a concentration spell?
Tongues? No.
No. Okay. So as I had previously said, since it's an at-will thing, I just expect that that's just kind of always going whenever you have the staff. Since it's non um, concentration, we'll say that you have that up still. So yeah, you'll be able to interpret what is being said. So again, you pick up some keywords, things about they say like the giant enclaves of, and then there's a number of different names. But it all comes down to essentially says, who will get it? It seems to be like a large thing. It seems to be arguing about who's taking possession of something. People of different, just by the gutturalness of their voice, they sound like different sizes. One sounds like more like large and almost a little pathetic. One sounds a little more calm. One sounds very forceful. Very different tones of voices, but all speak with authority. And they seem to be not arguing, but debating about who will have access to something. You don't catch what that is, though, but they seem to be arguing about access to something that they all seem to value.
Okay.
Yeah. And they do so quite passionately. Whatever it is, it's probably not like breakfast. But with your nat 1, I'm going to say you do take off of the giant, and you try and look around, like you don't get caught or anything. You fly around a bunch, but you get a little lost, and your owl mind just can't grasp. It can't hold on to anything. Like the memory slips away from you as fast as it comes, and you get distracted by certain things like rodents, smaller birds, as you're flying around the hallway, and you just really can't comprehend the layout of this place on that one, I'm afraid.
Okay. And can I'm really good at like seeing and hearing things, but like that never mind. Okay. That'll be it.
Okay. If you want to use your sight, you like, because there's windows. I'll say that there's plenty of windows around here. It still has that sort of Greek open concept, sort of airy architecture to some degree, to some small degree. Windowed, but whatever. If you wanted to like post up by a window and try and like look down at the moats and try and see something with your owl sight, you try that out with what couple minutes you have remaining.
Sure.
Right? Make me a perception check at advantage.
I got a 14.
14. You look down again, you see that one moat that just seems like not as personalized, shall we say, as the other moats. It just seems to be like a single moat with a bit of ruins from the city. It doesn't look largely used. Except for like one part. Now that you're sort of a little closer within the palace and you're looking down at it with your keen, almost telescopic owl eyes, you do see portions of this one building, and it seems to be like there's some water. sort of floating around, very uncharacteristically for what should be it, as if uh, there's a small, I will say, a moat of water beginning to form on that moat, deeper than it should be, what the city should have had. Something is making its home here, and it has something to do with water, but you don't know more than that. That's what you see. It's the most strange thing about the place.
So you said there's a moat with a new water source?
Yeah, so think of it like you're looking down, and let's say it's a market, right? Like you're like, okay, that used to be a market, like a ruined market. There's like right in the middle of it, it's like someone is like beginning to build like a deep pool of water, essentially.
Okay. And can I try to find a place to hide?
Sure, sure. Make me. Let's just call it another stealth check. Let's just call it a stealth check to get into a good position. Owls have a +3.
Oh my god, I got a 11.
An 11. You think you find a pretty all right place to hide. I'll say at this time you're in like an emptier hallway, so you kind of like fly underneath like a really, really tall giant chair, and kind of perch there. And sure enough, the spell ends on back at the Amazon camp and thus with you as well. And you appear into Thalia once more. There's no one in the hallway right now.
Okay.
Make a
And
Thalia stealth check now, just now that your form has changed, to see how you hide.
it's not any better.
Okay.
I got a 14.
14? Okay, we'll see how that carries you. What would you like to do?
So can I cast spells as if I was there? I mean, it's an illusory copy. I don't know.
Unless the spell specifies, it would be no. This is projecting, which I'll go with the spell. But I don't imagine so. It's a pretty high level spell. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's a 7th level spell.
Where's your copy yourself with the duration? The copy appears in a location within range that you have seen before, regardless of intervening obstacles. The illusion looks and sounds like you, but it's intangible. If the illusion takes any damage, it disappears. The spell ends. It's an action to move the illusion twice your speed and make a gesture of speed behave, whatever you choose. Manage your manners as pets. You can see through the eyes and hear through its ears. If you're in space on your turn, as a bonus action, you can switch from using its senses to your own or back again. While using its senses, you are blinded and deaf, and physical interactions with the image revealed it. Yeah, so that's going to be a no, unfortunately.
Okay.
You can move. That is the extent of your physical abilities as an intangible illusion.
Yeah. I'll try to stay hidden and just keep listening to those people that were talking.
Okay. Why don't you make me an investigation or survival check to see if you can find your way back to that door, because it's been some time since you were there as an owl.
I got a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
A 10 will be enough. It'll be enough. These are large enough hallways, and you're just finding your way back. You try and tap into your memories as a bird, as an owl, which aren't fantastic. But you manage to sort of find your way back there. You do find those fire giants still standing there. What did you roll in your stealth? You rolled a 12, I think?
I got a 14 on value stealth.
Got it. Take a look for a second. Yeah, you sort of begin to float over in that direction, trying to keep it stealthy. You sort of hide behind something. You hear the many plates of fire giants sort of turn in your direction of a armored giant moving in your direction. Apparently, it heard something where you are. Do you do anything?
try to hide somewhere else. I don't know, it's
Okay.
hard to imagine.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I don't have anything. I don't have anything for you. You begin to sort of flutter away to try and hide. Unfortunately, your stealth check does not beat the passive of the fire giant, and he says something in giant, which you understand to be, "There's an intruder in the palace," and he says, "Well, kill it." And he like grabs like a bowl, like a giant-sized like brass bowl, and just whips it at you as hard as he can. Uh,
Dex save?
this is an attack roll on his part.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. I don't know what to use for for AC in this moment. Well, what's your AC? I'll say, what's your AC without armor? Because it's intangible, so your armor doesn't count for much right now.
I think the spell said that. Let me read
Whenever
this.
you take damage.
Oh, okay.
So a 10
without
plus your dex mod.
is 12.
Okay, he whips a bowl at you, and you turn around to see a bowl that's bigger than you just hurl at you, and the spell comes to an end, I'm afraid.
Okay. And I never once heard what they were talking about.
You heard some of the words they were talking about. It wasn't enough to get like full sentences, but you heard them sort of, or as an owl, arguing over possession of something. And it didn't sound like even personal possession, it sounded like tribe possession, like clan possession of something. Something important.
Okay. We can go to someone else. I would want to talk to Ouroboros about what that could possibly be. But
Fair enough. And we may or may not see him today. So we will, yeah, absolutely. Put it in your, remember that. And whenever he shows up, that's up to you. Okay. So, Yasi and Silenos, do you guys have anything to do today, or shall we march?
I'm all about marching. I got nothing.
All right, we'll keep on marching. So with that, the armies of the Amazon begin to continue to march through this sort of tree-filled, mostly mountainous, hill-like space back in the direction that they're meant to go. Let's see here. So what's going to happen is, at a certain point, some supply lines from the Amazons are going to bring to you 2 potions of Hill Giant Strength and 2 potions of Cloud Giant Strength for your party. As Katara left those with the items with the tribes, so you may divvy those up how you like. There will be a note that they did make the potions of healing as well, but they divvied those up amongst the Amazons as payment for such a exceptionally expensive amount of potion creation. And that will help in the oncoming battles.
but I will not take any of those for what it's worth.
Okay. Would either Gyasi or Silenos take possession of them? Some of them, anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would definitely take one of them.
Sure.
Whichever one is mild strength. I don't really need to be that strong, but like the least valuable of the two. I would just take one of them and just say thank you. And
Sure.
yeah, I would just sling it on his pack.
Fair enough. Potion of Hill Giant Strength to you. The Cloud Giant one is the superior of the two. Gyasi, do you have any interest? Probably as a rogue.
Yeah. Potion of Cloud Giant Strength sounds fantastic.
Fantastic. Pop one in there. Pop one in your inventory. Yeah, and if anyone wants to keep track of the last 2 to hand off to the other 2, maybe that.
I was gonna say I can hang on to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, Salados.
Yeah, I'll just put them.
And the potions of healing have been distributed. That ended up being about 20 potions of healing, which are going to be distributed amongst important warriors. Okay, you continue your travels. Again, you're in a fucking army. Nothing's gonna come at you unless it's another army, which might be waiting. Today, the scouts, some of the scouts return to camp and address Niobe. They sort of ride in on horseback as fast as they can, jump off and sort of find a knee before the queen. She says, "What is it?" And the scouts say, "Queen Niobe, the giants have rallied a force to fight us. They are on their way here. We should meet them tomorrow morning." She says, "Okay, well done, thank you." And she's going to rally. If you all want to, you could attend, but she's going to rally the 2 annexes of the tribes to discuss numbers and tactics and where they'd like to have their battlefield. So if you'd like to join in on that.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
I will definitely, and I will also try and get the angle of I want to lead the archers.
Okay. Absolutely. So you guys all find yourselves in here. Around the table of Niobe's tent. I'll start putting everybody in here. But in the meantime, basically the scout speaks of the various numbers that are present, saying that they've been reinforced by another force of stone giants and hill giants. So they are going to pretty effectively possibly meet with their numbers. And they're going to go through it, which I will discuss with you, like the tactics so far. But this is where it begins, folks. This is where the big scale battle stuff begins to start. So they talk for a bit, and then they come to a realization that the only real battlefield that they can occupy, based on the scouts' reports, that gives them some advantage, is the one that follows. And I'm going to post a picture on Roll20 of what your battlefield is going to look like from like a very large, high bird's eye view. This isn't a 5x5. This is like quite a bit of radius. I'd recommend people pop into there. In fact, I'm going to give. I can probably just share the screen, honestly, if that's easier for folks, because that's what's important. So let's do that.
I have an
Yeah.
idea I'd like to share with the party.
By all means.
I mean, I wish Ouroboros was here. I've seen the palace, and I can teleport us in, and maybe avoid a full frontal assault to begin with. And if Ouroboros can show the giants his power, then maybe he can assume position as the giant king and avoid the big assault.
They all sort of consider this. Niobe says, actually, the annex of the Orient says, perfect. We can turn around. We don't have to do this out at all. What are we bothering now? They just go in the palace and clean up for us. Fantastic. Why even discussing going into battle tomorrow? The annex Valinar says, because, and I thought you were in charge of the scouting, Orion, but you also did report that there was a significant giant force in the capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, it's the scary lady. Hi, scary lady.
Yes, welcome, Kitara. Welcome. So, the Annex Valinar will say, the reason why we go into battle tomorrow, and as much as I think that's a great portion of the plan. That might have to happen, as we are going to be a little outnumbered if we do the frontal assault. That means all of you would have to fight not only Palos, but his entire guard and any giants he summons to his side, all at once, by yourselves. Which is hundreds and hundreds of giants. Yeah? That's what you want?
I'm just gonna slap the silly off of his face.
Were there hundreds of... Because the palace is like miles in the sky, right?
Yes. But it is well fortified, and there are giants who can fly. And yes, you're right. But there are many people who are occupying it. The cloud giants themselves are a large faction, and they can fly all over the place.
How do we get the Amazons up there to help us?
We don't.
So if they're not going to be there to help us anyway, then...
They have
The annex.
a very useful purpose, and that is to draw those forces away from your plan, to isolate him from his troops, to isolate Pelas from his troops. He doesn't strike me as a lead from the front guy.
Mm-hmm. So we still do this, but wait until the giants are drawn away.
It will be largely at the same time. The Amazon forces need to put up enough of a fuck you to them that the giants are going to go, well, we're just going to crush the shit out of you. And at the instant of engagement, it is, a timer. The Amazons are falling back, ideally into something that we can pre-plan that will turn it into a meat grinder on the giants' behalf. Meanwhile, we take exactly your plan, Thalia, and go behind the lines and try to cut the head off the snake.
That's
That's
the
the
Amazons are
only
like.
way that I can see this working, because we aren't going to be capable of giant genocide. There aren't enough arms and enough swords to make that happen. When Pelas can bleed a pint and refresh his troops.
So, question for the
Yes.
map:
Yes.
where is the giant, like, whatever pyramid? like
It's not
thing.
there. It's not
Okay.
there. So what essentially is happening is the discussion has moved to the final assault, but what this map represents is the assault that's coming tomorrow. So basically, they're sending a preliminary sort of counterattack force to try and stop you all before your army reaches the capital.
Okay. Can we put them in like can we wedge them in some mountains and I can just drop maddening darkness and
Yeah.
Niobe goes, yeah,
that
yes,
was the
Qatar,
plan initially.
yes, Qatar, we're gonna find a way for you to drop your maddening, horrible darkness on them. I have no doubt. But this is a battle of a much larger scale than a couple feet in diameter. These are armies clashing, so we will need to plan. I agree with Yossi and Thalia and the Annex Valinar that when the final assault comes, that sounds like fucking terrific strategic tactics, but we need to look at the fight directly ahead of us. And that's what we need to do for now, to get the army there so that we can divert attention.
I do think Tara's idea, because if there's mountains there, then let's funnel them through the mountain valley and pick them off from there.
Yes,
Duh.
I agree. So let me tell you how this is all going to work. As far as rules go, so to speak, the mechanics of what happens next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put this here because I need to keep it all nice and
Essentially,
quick.
like my brain is thinking like throw up some like the bait them to going in or trying to go into one section.
All right, I
Or
understand. So first things first.
Yeah.
Let me just describe the mechanics of what's about to happen next, because this is we've reached a stage where you are planning the tactics for a battle, for war.
Okay.
Coming ahead. So as you stand around here, yes, you want to. I understand you want to try and funnel them. So that is the map. You find yourself. There's 4 phases to this mass combat. What's about to come. The first one is the meeting phase, which you find yourself in right now, where you plan. It starts by calculating on either side the various modifiers of your various armies. So the first thing we need to do is decide where the battles will be taking place. So the giants are going to come at you. This is your battlefield. You have one massive Amazon army. You can decide to divvy that army up into 2 or 3 or 4 to draw and split up maybe their own army or for various tactics. So go ahead, tell me what you want to do as far as tactics go. So to start, Katara, it sounds like you want to use the mountains to the west there to try and corner and pin some of the giants into a tight space so that you can deal maximum damage.
yeah, I mean my brain is thinking like the whatever Jon Snow in the circle, like stuck, like about to die. Like
Where?
yeah, like the circle trap or whatever. But
Okay. So you'd like battle number 1, or all of them possibly, to happen like over here or something in a mountain pass where you can corner the giants and take them out.
Where are they coming from?
They're coming from the south. You guys are coming from the north.
I
Oh,
have
So
a
okay.
what you're
question.
looking,
I have a question.
sure. And just so you all know, what you're looking at is going to be the battlefield. It's up to you
Yeah.
to decide where you'd like to have your battle. So yes,
Is that
Kiasi,
is that a waterfall?
that is indeed a waterfall.
How wide is the river above the falls?
Not too far, not too far, but certainly enough to slow down many giants.
I'm not worried about slow.
Let's say, let's say it's a, let's say it's a. Oh, I just want to make sure I'm giving you a correct number here. Let's say it's 1,000 feet wide.
Oh, that's a big ass river.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. That's exactly the size I was hoping for, actually.
Okay,
I
good.
I am very tempted to take a page straight out of Alexander. And that would be we build a, a stone pier upstream of that. I'm assuming it flows down, drops over the falls. We effectively dam the river and either put deadfalls with ropes and horses to yank some of that out of there when we want it timed that way. And the fight takes place after we make them walk into the riverbed because it's going to be uphill into the trees. We put the archer line in the trees. We put the melee troops close to where the river's edge is with the intent of pulling back towards the tree line. Once we get the giants in the gulf below the falls, we open it up and we let Archimedes and nature take care of the rest.
How big is the waterfall? Like, is that enough water to wash away giants?
Yeah. Yeah, giants stand about. Let's take a look. Hill giants are shorter than stone giants, but stone giants stand about 20 feet tall. So the scouts seem to report that though the giants, it's not deep enough to like, it's probably like a 15-foot deep river. So it wouldn't be enough to like for them to drown. It's certainly enough that a large impact could carry them downstream. Certainly, it's worth. Could be worth a shot.
How much? Like but the waterfall's 1,000 feet wide.
Yeah.
Do we have it? I guess timing wise, do we think there's enough time to dam 1,000 feet?
We've got an army of people.
Says, the Amazons would say, one of the annexers would say, "That's true, but we're gonna meet them there on that battlefield. If we meet them here in this pass, we're sitting ducks, but this opens up from the pass into a more open and broad battlefield where we have options. So we're gonna have to fight it out here, but we're not gonna have many hours to deal with things unless we make the Amazons march and work through the night, which will tire them for the battle." If you guys have some kind of super powerful magic to make that all happen, though.
Like, I mean, my initial thought is if they're coming from the south, there's that little, because I'm assuming the mountain pass goes in like a U or a C there. Like it curves
what you
around.
see on the map is what you get.
Yeah, so
yeah, it goes like this.
Okay. So my thinking is if we set a group up like in that front where the 40 is and basically have them there drawing the first wave and then retreating.
Okay.
Have archery.
So they sorry?
Have archery.
Yeah, so but what I'm thinking is if they retreat and draw them into basically where that circle is, if you can have another group kind of come in and sort of trap them in the sea, like that circle is where I could drop the darkness. And it's you have the group on the one side waiting to sort of keep them in, and then the group that comes from below, like around, to trap them in.
What's the order? What's the order of scale here, Ryan? If a quarter of a scale is like 1,000 feet, how big is the diameter on your darkness?
120 feet total.
They'll walk around it.
I don't know what the scale is, so
yeah, I don't, and I gotta say I don't have a specific scale for here. There's only so many when it comes to D&D and battle maps. There's only so many like large scale battle maps, so we're gonna play a little loose and fast with it. There isn't a very specific scale. What you see is what you get as far as like the mountains are to the east, the forest is to the northwest. But as far as like specific dimensions go, like
now it may be tall enough and rocky enough that somebody with flight and access to something useful might be able to artificially narrow that at a point, and effectively turn it into the hot gates.
I did have an idea to help with that. Because I have commune with nature, so I was going to offer to use that to sort of help find weak points on the battlefield that might help. So if there's like a point that's rocky, like where the mountains are weak, something like that.
And I'm just going to describe something to you guys just so you understand what's coming. Like I said, we're going to play a little loose and what have you, but there's going to be many things that are going to contribute to the modifiers of every battle group. So how it works is, let's say, there's a perfect example. We've got a battle happening up here and a battle happening down there. Your both of those two separate portions of the army are going to have their own modifiers based on the quality of their commander, the number of troops, the quality of the troops, and so on and so forth. So good tactics will be rewarded as such. So you have Qatar, you go in and you're like, nature, where is the best point for me to drop maddening darkness? There will be a bonus to that. So yeah, this is absolutely acceptable and will contribute to the helping of your army. Absolutely. If you were to, the more help and the more benefits you put onto your army. But keep in mind, the enemy army has plans too, probably.
Both battles don't have to happen at the same time. I kind of pictured it as like drawing the troops through the canyon pass and then up to the waterfall. So we have like 2 different points to get them, as opposed to splitting their army in 2.
You could do that if you wish. Yeah, you could do that if you wish, if you want it to just be one massive, humongous battle.
I mean, my thinking is if we start with the pass, we're not going to get everybody go. Like people are going to figure it out. So then they're going to go around. So then that's why. So I'm thinking like try to draw at the beginning, and then we have the second point at the top, and maybe we try to find something else, another area.
So, and Niobe will put that in there and say, there is tactical benefits to dividing the army and holding separate points. Like, keep in mind, we are confronting this battlefield for the first time, but this is giant country, and the stone giants have already came through here to get back to their capital. So looking at that pass, there might be a chance that they know where the opening is on the far side. You might draw some in, yes, but they might divide their army and come around the flank and corner our army and defeat us in one swoop. So it might be to our benefit to divide and conquer.
Well, the idea would be to put the archers at the high ground, and so if they do split their army, I don't know, like that's great if they put their whole army in that mountain pass, right? It seems like a good thing.
If they do decide to take the entire army.
Okay, thought for below the lower bout. We use we draw them in. We try to, we have the retreating force go in. We have the archers at the top. I'm sitting on the far side of that canyon. And then at the top as well, in addition to archers, we have like boulders falling down to try to, I guess, close off a group of them or make it like difficult terrain. Maddening darkness. I see if I could pick off that. And then once that's activated, people are going to go the other way.
So the Annex Orion is going to say, let me get this straight. You want to take like a couple archers with you? Do you want to try and take down a giant battalion by yourself?
No, but I'm trying to think of I don't want to get people trapped. That's the thing. So my thinking is if we have one force that comes all the way out, they're able to support and attack the group that then goes the far way.
I like your rock slide idea. Do you see that large saddle where the two I don't know, kind of.
I have a problem with.
Well, hang on. Where's continue, Thalia? Where are you gesturing to? The saddle?
Yeah, where there's the 2 ridges, and then it kind of it's called a saddle. I don't know how to describe it. No, not there.
Like
above the circle, you mean? Like the
like right above the circle where.
Oh, you mean up here, like right there?
You could trigger a rock slide on that side, and then we can have archers on the other side of the. I don't know. I just think there's a ton of potential with this pass here.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
What's the bulk of the forces that we're facing? Are they stone giants or are they hill giants?
It says the bulk is stone giants, but they have hill giants as well. And if Ouroboros' intelligence is to be believed, they'll probably use the hill giants as
shock
fodder.
troops.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I feel it incumbent as the devil's advocate to point out that an avalanche of boulders may kill a few hill giants, but it's effectively handing them unlimited ammo. These people throw rocks a long way and very hard.
The NX Valinar will say, and it's also worth pointing out that each giant type seems to have their element. Stone giants, again, if Ouroboros' intelligence is to be believed, they're largely mountain people. They're giants who specialize at using the mountains to their benefits. So, all worth keeping in mind.
If they go the other way, is that solid ground or is it marshy land with all the water going through it?
If they go this way,
Yeah.
they will have to cross, they'll probably have to cross the river. We don't know what the stone giants will do. Maybe they'll decide to go up the mountain and down the mountain. Maybe they will decide that's better for them being what they are, but there's a chance. But either way, the terrain isn't going to be on their side. We could always we could always divide our forces and send some to meet them there and catch them while they're struggling with the terrain. It's a possibility.
A ridge in between the two rivers in the bottom center of the map. You could put a force on the ridge there as they cross the river.
Like so? So
Yeah.
we could do that. We could do that. And our scouts are excellent. If they decide to change their direction, go up the mountain or go down the ridge, they can inform the army and we can adjust. We can adjust.
I'm gonna lay out a set of thoughts. If they're coming with available shock troops, they're gonna be the first ones to go. If we have cavalry archery here at the mouth at the point of engagement, and after 2 volleys before there's any chance of melee, they retreat back up this way. We have a second archer force, and it can be landborne at this point. And once our cav archery retreats back through the notch, they double up to ride with the intent of going back to join the main force. We have another cav unit as a screen here. Again, their sole purpose is to provide a target with the intent of retreating back through a firing line that we choose. We can put small unit melee pieces on the other side of the rivers at any point where there's a slog to cross. We're significantly lighter. We're going to be less hampered by soft soil than they will be by orders of magnitude. But the entire goal and objective for all of these is to engage, damage, but we aren't we'll give them ammunition. We won't give them blood or lives. Damage them, wound them, keep them angry and engaged, and keep drawing them back from ambush zone to ambush zone until we walk what remains across where we can plan on a pitched battle where we can maybe get some additional advantage by nature that doesn't favor stone giants and doesn't favor hill giants.
What kind of land is that brown thing in the middle? Is that mud?
Yeah, we're gonna say that is
I have no idea.
that's more like money. It's more like, yeah, more muddy, more sort of like yeah, mud and dirt. Nature isn't taking hold so well there for whatever reason.
But that bridge exists too.
Yeah, like you can see here, like there and there and there and there. That this used to be a place populated by small villages. So that bridge was probably built by villagers, but they have all since been deserted. The scouts would put that in there. Since this has become a giant country, it's been too dangerous for people to live here, and they've moved on. So those are all abandoned villages. That bridge does exist.
My question for the scouts is how functional and sturdy do they think that bridge is? Will it take cavalry? Will it take giants? That's the question.
They will say it's a bridge for the necessity of outlying villagers. Like on the map, it's made of stone, but we're gonna say it's made of wood. It says it's fairly sturdy. It looks like it can take horses and carts. I don't know about like a whole cavalry unit, and certainly not giants, but it could maybe take cavalry. It's a wood bridge meant for carts and stuff, not military advances.
Okay, that's the question, because if effectively that provides our opponent zero advantage.
Of anything, or Naomi will say, if anything, we get them into too much of a panic and they try and retreat across the bridge, the water might sweep them away.
Okay. I have a thought. And I don't know if this would work or not, but we have a bunch of stones where we can conjure earth elementals and they can burrow. So could they make passages for us to use through the battle? If we, because for an hour.
That's exactly how I was planning on creating the upstream dam. Actually, now that you mention it,
gotcha.
Because they can effectively just go move earth, move earth, move earth, move earth.
Yeah, but keep in mind they can burrow. That doesn't mean that they're great builders, can hold up mine tunnels. But you do have, along with warriors, there are builders and cooks and whoever else coming along with the army. So, yeah, your elementals could burrow, and then your people could reinforce it, make them proper tunnels. If that was something you wanted to do. And yeah, it's worth noting that, yes, your battle can have multiple phases, because it is possible that... So how it's going to work is there's turns in the battle. So there's the meeting phase, which you're having right now, planning where the battle is going to happen, figuring out the quality of your various forces. Then there's going to be the battle, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And then once the battle's concluded, there will be a morale and casualty phase where we'll figure out if the armies want to stick around and keep fighting, or if they're so demoralized they want to leave. And if they want to stay, how many casualties is that force taken? So just because a battle's won doesn't necessarily mean that the war is won in that particular instance, if that makes sense. So having multiple phases might be very tactically intelligent, where you draw them back to your dam plan. Yeah.
I was just thinking secret tunnels, man. for people to pop out of.
Pull a Fremen.
All things secret tunnel. Yeah,
All
and I
right.
guess they're siege monsters too, so they can help with objects and structures.
It's true. It's true.
I do like the idea of drawing them north through the mud and then went either through the mud or through the big river, and drowning them in the river or taking the aerial assault from the red ridge. Um, and
So you're
then
thinking having a continue to divide their forces, so you take some up on the top of the ridge to be dam trapped, and then you take some on the low ridge to get stuck in the mud. Or the bottom of the ridge, I should say.
yeah, that's pretty much how it is getting at.
Nice. Golden mud trap.
And that mud trap will only get worse if we break the dam. Because it'll
It's true.
flood it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll flood it, and because this isn't like all mud, to be clear, like all the way across. It's a fair amount of land, but a sudden and very dramatic outpour of water would certainly coat a lot of that dirt and make it more muddy. Yeah.
And I know how I'm going to break the dike. I have access to tidal wave. I'll have a lot of
There you
water
go.
with force behind it. It's
There you go.
only a 120-foot line out of 1,000 feet, but the water pressure itself will resolve the rest of that problem. It
Fair
doesn't
enough.
take a really big hole in a dam to ruin the dam.
I can
Understood.
that bad boy too. So if we want multiple tidal waves, we can have them. And if we want multiple, no, we can't actually.
Actually, that's not a half bad idea. If we can wait.
Actually,
I need to put the pointer on this map. If we can draw giants into this area here, we'll wash some downstream and perhaps over the falls. But if we have a second tidal wave here, like at the base of the falls, once that water is back and is already moving in that direction, it'd be just like putting a water jet onto it, and will pressure wash things that are downstream. We just have to make sure that our forces are far enough to the dry. So that brings me to the second question: is how do we coordinate this all at a distance? I've got access. I've got access to ascending.
The Valinar says, "Well, I think it'd be better if you spent your magic on our enemies rather than such things. We can simply coordinate through horn blasts. It's very acceptable level of tactics. We can set those all up in time. You know, a number of blasts for retreat, a number of blasts for phase 2, a number of blasts for advance, so on and so forth. And that way our separate armies could coordinate."
I've got sendings for emergencies too. So.
I'd have a free sending or scrying via tooth, nail, or hair. So somebody can have that.
Bio say no thank you. That's impressive, but no thank you.
Hey Ryan, where in relation to like where we are currently and where this battle is going to be are the huntresses of Artemis?
The hunters of Artemis from your tribe?
Yeah.
They're across the Greek world. They're in like the Spartan Arcadian region near Athens. This is happening way over by the Black Seas. This is across the Aegean.
Oh yeah. Have we gotten updates from them about how their
Not
siege
yet.
is going and stuff? No? Okay.
No, you can. I mean, you can be like messenger
Yeah.
guy. Come on, man. But
Yeah.
you know, obviously he's a busy guy. So,
Mm.
but yeah, you could get a report on that if you want.
Do we still have the gods with us too? Ares and Dionysus?
Niobe goes, of course the gods are with us.
Not physically. Are they physically here?
It's like, well, that is a very deep theological debate that we'll have to get into later. But the point being is, at least Niobe will say, well, considering the fucking madness that happens in Ouroboros' tent these last nights, I have no doubt Dionysus is around somewhere, and I've been assured that the god of war will not be leaving this army's side until Themyscira is secured. So yes, the gods are on our side.
Might be good to like put Dionysus near the mud trap, just really piss him off. Crazy in the mud.
Yeah, certainly try.
I mean, it's so maddening to not be stuck in mud already, right? Make him.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
fair. That's fair. Go a little crazy.
I'm just trying to think of where they like. I wasn't even thinking of the gods and like what, you know.
The gods are a little maverick as when it comes to tact, especially the god of insanity and the god of like slaughter. They're not the most tactical fall in line bunch.
Gotcha. Don't plan for that.
So they're not exactly pawns that can be placed on the board. They might show up and help out at certain points, but you have to have faith on that part.
Gotcha.
They won't be fighting alongside the army unless they decide to. So Niobe will look at the map and say, okay, so just to review with what we have so far for our battles is we are going to have two forces. One's going to draw the giants, as many as possible, into the pass in an ambush. Ambush them with magic from all of you, and if we could try and produce an avalanche, but that's quite a tall order to ask for. We'll do our best, but we'll give it a shot. But anyway, rain on them from above while they're stuck in the pass. And then we'll have a second force performing a counterflank against any giants that might want to try and hit us from the back of the pass and lock our army up.
I mean,
Phase 2, we fall back to the mud trap and the dam trap by the river up north and draw the giants to us.
Instead of a rock slide, could we do like quicksand with the earth elemental?
The Amazons look at each other and they sort of shrug and they go, I don't know, can you? I mean, you guys are the demigods of unlimited power, apparently. You're creating avalanches and dam traps and shit. Like we're warrior people.
No, because I do agree with Yasi that giving them ammo probably isn't the best approach, but I'm just thinking if there's another way to make it a little difficult for them to get through, and maybe it's having an elemental.
Yeah, the Amazon Dalinar says to you all, so the thing, and my fellow tribesman is right, we are warriors. We are skilled warriors, but we are warriors. As far as altering the terrain or stopping rivers to flood them later, and we know how to use the terrain to our advantage as it stands, but if you wish to alter the terrain on a massive scale, we don't have that power, especially not in under 24 hours. If you all do, then that's incredible, and we'll take full advantage of it. But we are warrior women, not powerful demigods like yourselves. Niobe says, speak for yourself.
Um, I think we should make use of archers in the mountain pass.
The Orient Annex says that we can do. Archery, we do very well. Is there any other initial tactics that you would like to bring to the battle? Is there any other splits, or is this the plan? Should we lock in this plan and begin our preparations?
Ryan, I have a question. Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, we have like under 24 hours before this happens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You guys still have to get there,
there's
too.
no
This
way.
is...
The only other thing I was gonna say is like for the archers, Salanos knows a pretty high level spell that I might be able to teach some of the Valinar like fire arrows, which just might help with an advancement. I don't know if they're high enough level rangers to have like third level spells.
Yeah, they might have skill, but like the learning of such magic isn't something you do on the trail in a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially amongst rangers. Like maybe like wizards, sure, but that's not really how rangers work, unfortunately.
All good.
Good idea.
No, cool.
So Niobe says, "Okay, is this our final tactical plan? That we should begin our preparations?"
Oh, I have one more thought, one more idea. Sorry. Do we have guns on our ship yet? Can we put that out there somewhere and just like shoot them
Guns on your ship? No, you don't have guns on your ship, I'm afraid.
Damn, we don't have any cannons there yet.
No, this is ancient Greece. There's no cannons in ancient Greece, unfortunately.
I thought we did some kind of upgrade.
Didn't we have fire or something?
You guys got some Greek fire, which you used during the past, but you used it all up.
Yeah, we also did have like a fucking dragon head in the front of our thing that we never fucking used that I spent 8,000 gold on, by the way, guys. Just wanted to put that out there.
That is true.
Just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, it's true. You guys did some like major upgrades to your ship and then haven't used it since, which is fair. You can teleport and stuff, so it's...
And there's the churning chains, too.
Yeah, the chains. That's what I was thinking of, the chains. That's right.
The only problem is Hephaestus is currently making it so it'll submerge.
That's true. He has the ship right now, so you guys can use it to submerge. That's right.
Because
damn it,
the next step after this is to, see about getting Poseidon free. Minor details.
Siege Atlantis from the Titan of the Oceans.
Oh yeah.
Totally forgot about
that. the fucking, other than Niobe, the two Amazon annexes look at you all with like just jaw drops. Like they can't believe the discussions they're hearing around the sport. Have you like, oh yeah, we gotta go for Poseidon. The Forge God Hephaestus as our ship and is trying to make it submersible. They're like, what? What?
It's a long story. Don't worry about it.
They look at Niobe and she just gives them a look of like, just don't bother. Danix Orion says, okay, we're locking it in. This is the plan. Going once.
Go.
Twice. Sold. All right, let's get down to business. And she moves some shit off of the table, and we are going to assess specific modifiers, because this is where we come down to figuring out the strength of your armies and what you're going to be rolling when the battle rolls around. So we're just going to go down the list of potential modifiers here. So as we divide our forces, we need to figure out what it is we're doing. So we got Army 1 in the pass. We got Army 2 on the counterflank. So let's go through this. Army 1 has neither army are decayed at all, so they'll have that to their benefit. Commander quality. We need to decide how we're divvying up our commanders here. Sort of look around. Niobe says, well, obviously you two NXs are the most capable commanders here. I've not led troops into large-scale battle before, but you two have done that. So you two should probably be our commanders for either army. They sort of look at each other. They kind of go, okay, agreed. So you will have both of your armies will be well commanded. They're no Alexanders, but they are skilled at commanding troops, both. Is there a preference which commander you'd like where? This isn't going to affect what troops are available to you, but this will affect which commander is where and which, which is a point. Niobe will say, so that is very important. I will go to the army that you're all not at to provide extra support, but where are the demi-thoughts going to be fighting? You're going to be fighting in the army on the pass that goes to the dam, or are you going to be fighting in the counterflank that goes to the mud trap?
I'm at the pass.
Split the party.
I think we're splitting. No?
No.
Oh,
No.
that makes so much
No.
more sense, though. But that's cool.
No, I thought it did make sense. I wasn't joking. I thought it made
Yeah, I
sense.
think it makes 100% more sense to split.
I understand you guys aren't joking, but for the sake of mechanics and for the sake of like off table for the fun of the game and not having Katara and Gyasi sit on the sidelines while we run through a full battle for Dali and Silenos and then vice versa, the Niobe is going to insist that you all work best when you're working together and that the demi-thoughts will cover one army, the Amazon commanders will cover the other.
Cool.
Can't hear you, Thalia.
In the pass.
Okay, so the demi-thoughts want to fight in the pass.
That's just my opinion.
What's your volume of cavalry?
They say not much, honestly. These are mountainous regions which are hard to travel cavalry through, so not plenty.
I mean, well, here's the thing. I could, so the maddening darkness works in the past, but don't we need the two like water movements to do the dam trap and like everything?
Well, keep in mind we're going to fall back from whatever that first position is. Yeah. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think your maddening darkness is going to be significantly better using a river choke than it is the pass.
Can you use it more than once?
I can only use it once, but the thing, as long as we can keep pushing them back into it, then it's fine. The reason why the pass seemed like a good idea is because, I mean, if I can fill out enough space, then they're only going, like they have two ways to exit out of it versus like an entire circle they can leave, right?
The river works the same way. It has the exact same set of problems. In the past, unless we are exceptionally fortunate, we are not going to be able to choke that to the point that they're not going to walk around it. It's only 120 feet across. Rivers have got the same problem, but if it's dark and they don't have any choice but to go that way, we can utilize that to steer. And I'm thinking if we take them at this higher fort, or at the bow for melee troops, that's going to be mostly stone giants, and it optimizes Ouroboros's opportunity to turn some of them. In the past, I don't think you'll get that opportunity.
I mean, do we know how deep the river is?
Oh, 15 feet.
Have we scouted the pass yet?
Uh, they're aware of it. They haven't gone to be very specific about it. They sort of, but you guys will be there to take a look at it yourselves, obviously, soon.
But ultimately, I think it's a 50-50 shot either way.
Okay, so commanders are dividing. There is.
Do the commanders have any like specific talents, like each like that we, or like things that they are better at than the other that might tell us where they should go?
Both. So as commanders, their experience doesn't have anything to do with like their personal combat abilities, but it will be based on their ability to respond to danger under high pressure situations. So both of them are capable commanders. The Balinar Annex is a veteran of many battles, hasn't been in too many large scale battles as of late until the Giant Siege, which she was a part of. The Annex Orion has been constantly fighting in raids. So whereas one is defensive, the other is offensive, but that might not, it doesn't really matter. The point of the mass combat system I'm using right now is to simplify things. So,
okay.
But if you want to play on those potential things, I might be willing to provide bonuses based on that. So if you're like, okay, the Valinar lady has these skills, maybe she might do better at this, and if you want to play on those things and they sound valid, I might provide a bonus. So feel free to have fun with that. Yes.
I mean, I'd say the respond to danger is going to do well for the first phases, right? The ability to recognize when to fall back.
Mm-hmm.
And be able to get as many people back as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and if you guys have input, like Niobe was basically like, you two are the most experienced large scale battle commanders that we have here. Let's divide you up between the two armies so that both can have experienced commanders. So, and they were like, sure. But obviously, if you guys have another idea, you can do that too. Because the commander's commanding the battle, not fighting, you know?
Yeah.
So if one of you wanted to be the commanders, that might be helpful, but you wouldn't be fighting. You would be standing in the back, watching the battle progress and giving out orders as the battle progresses. It's not how all commanders do it, but it's probably the best thing to do.
Anyone want to command?
Progress. They will sort of continue on and say, so there is something worth noting. Most of our forces are experienced troops. Most of our troops are indeed the Orion troops who have been fighting and battling and have done battle with giants, and they're experienced and skilled. This is Niobe speaking. She's saying, but the Valinar are the elite. They're fewer in number, but they are the elite of the Amazons. So we can evenly divide the Valinar and the Orion and then have those things going on. Or you could decide to have a smaller force of Valinar somewhere and a much, much larger force of less experienced Orion somewhere. These are possibilities. If you think that a small, powerful group of Amazons is better than a larger, experienced, but no Valinar, no elite warrior. So many, many raiders and a few elite warriors. Everybody says, I think we just split them up. I mean, both are equally important. Both require great numbers.
Actually, I can understand that perspective. I would argue that perhaps the mountain pass is better served by numbers, and the flank is better served by your elites, because the elites are going to have to leapfrog the greatest distance.
This is the
That's
flank,
going
or
to
is this the pass?
the flank is going to have to leapfrog retreat the furthest, meaning that they're going to have to gauge when the risk versus reward has tipped. With the archers in the high points in the pass, they can, volley fire 5 times and fall back, volley fire 5 times and fall back as rote. They need to be trained, but they don't need to have that direct combat experience. Their entire objective is to rain arrows and fall back, rain arrows and fall back repeatedly.
The Valinor Annex says, well, there's a double-edged sword to that. We have our army posted out to protect the flank, which means that we need to hold that until the other army is able to evacuate the pass. So if they need to hold out longer, they're not going to be able to fall back as often. It could serve that if we want to have, like you say, a leapfrog fast exit, maybe those people who are stuck up on mountain ridges might need to be able to get out faster so that the ground forces and the pass block can leave too. So there's a good argument. Could be served well on the opposite side as well, though.
But we don't want the Valinor to get overwhelmed in either case, so I think it makes the most sense to split the Orion.
Divide the armies up. Divide the Valinor and the Orion into 2. Okay. They look around. They seem to feel in agreement at that. Says, okay. So they will divvy that up. We are going to call that a +1 for both armies then. They will say morale is very high after the defense of Themyscira and the knowledge that the gods are on our side. What else we got? We are all fully supplied here. Themyscira is close, and our sisters are doing a good job making sure we are well supplied. And with that, the only last thing to do is apply additional bonuses. So we have superior equipment because of Hephaestus. We have them outnumbered, but their troops are singularly stronger than us, so we won't gain any benefit from that. They're fortified. Nobody here is that diseased. And we have the divine blessing of 2 gods. Which means our total for both armies is going to come out to... We're going to have a +12 bonus to the rolls of each of our armies when it comes time. And you guys are sticking with Army 1. Okay. Oh, Thalia, you're muted.
I want to mention it's next to useless, but there was access over something that they valued that they were arguing over. I have no idea what that could be, but I wonder if maybe they were arguing over some sort of field advantage. I don't know what it was they were arguing over.
They all look at each other, and at least the Amazons do. They look at each other and kind of nod at this. The Anaxorian says, I'll pass it along the scouts and see if we can't see anything about that. But it's worth keeping an eye out on the battlefield in case they're passing along some great asset. They all nod. And that'll do. But good to pass that along. Okay, I'm going to look at the other army here. So this one is one. Let's take a plus. Very interesting. What else? They are.
And that commune with nature can give us 3 facts about the terrain. So if we were wanting specific knowledge to be able to use, we can do that.
We can figure out what the narrowest choke point is.
Absolutely, absolutely. The most narrow checkpoint. Okay, I'll say whenever the time comes and you utilize that, like you'll have to mark it off. Be sure to mark it off. But I will provide.
It's a ritual, so I don't think it.
Perfect. Then I'm going to provide Army 1 in the pass an additional +1 bonus because you have deeper knowledge of the terrain than the giants.
I was also gonna see, so the land between like the mountains and the water, that fallback line, because I wasn't sure if it was marshy. I was gonna see if there was like information on like where's like more sure-footed ground to sort of like, if they're retreating, they're not gonna fall like on a muskeg or something. Like I wanted to see if I could find like the strongest paths.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna. Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not so worried about the questions you're gonna ask about the pass because it seems very clear. Like, where's the closest choke point?
Yeah.
That's a very, very direct questions. When the time comes, I will want to ask you the question specifically about, that more northern region on the next day, just so I know what kind of knowledge you're gaining and if it's going to be helpful to provide a bonus for.
Okay.
So we'll deal with that in the moment, but the initial bonuses that you guys are gaining are pretty cool.
Is there any reason why you couldn't do that now, Katara?
You have to be close to the terrain in order to cast it.
I have to be within 3 miles. So, like,
how far away are you?
You're like still a day's worth of travel to get there with the army. You'll get there tomorrow morning. Well, you'll get there by the end of the day, and then you'll, sleep, and then you'll wake up and do battle the next morning.
I was mostly just putting that out there if anybody had specific things that they thought would be helpful to learn to the group if they had those.
Yeah, sure. Okay, with that, I have phase 1 of the battle figured out as far as what the modifiers will end up being, and we will deal with that on the day of battle. But the plans have been laid, and the Amazons look very confident. They go, we have good supply lines, our morale is high, we have the blessing of 2 gods, we have the demi-thoughts. We're going to win. We are going to win. And they all seem very, very confident about the battle ahead and go to prepare their warriors for not only the journey, but for the battle ahead. Go tell their captains or tribal leaders about how best to steer around the terrain and what the battle plans are. Is there anything else you'd like to do during this sort of meeting battle planning phase here?
Are we planning on attacking the palace the same day as this battle?
No, it'll be another day's worth of travel to actually get to the capital. Yeah, you're on the countryside. That's where this battle's happening. The capital is in like another day's travel after that.
And so is there going to be another like full-scale attack after this one?
Not directly, but yeah. As Gyasi and you were all talking about at the beginning of the meeting, I think there's generally an idea that the Amazons will function as a diversion. And you guys can decide if you want to take part in the planning of that battle or not, or if you guys just want to be like, we're responsible for infiltrating the palace. You Amazon ladies figure out how you want to direct your army. So that's up to you. Or you can be involved in the planning of things. It's entirely up to you. This one they wanted your input. Next one you can decide to sit back or not. It's your choice. Okay. So you guys begin traveling that day. Nothing bad is going to happen on the pass. I'm going to tell you guys what. You guys will get to essentially set up, and I'm going to put a little ring there to represent it, where your base camp is. We'll say the army basically sets up there. Whatever. That's where all your civilians and your supplies and tents and all that stuff is all set up. And alternatively, as you come into the pass, you will see the giants have set up over there. It's obviously a much bigger camp than yours because they are big guys. They sort of set up their camp over here. Or scouts would detect that. You don't like look across the pass and see their camp or anything. Maybe at night you might see like the flicker of light on the other side of the valley, but your scouts would report that they're there. But at the end of the day, you come into the pass, you look at the terrain, you see the pass over there. So I'll tell you what, did you want to do your, Kumbaya ritual Katara tonight, or would you like to do it in the morning?
I think we could do it now because it'll help the guest preparation.
Absolutely. Okay, so do you want to take anyone with you, or is this a solo mission?
I'll go with
talk to nature.
Silenos, or maybe because Silenos has his
extra stealthy stuff.
Steed.
Yeah.
Well, no, he has the super fast steed, right?
Yeah, you got the super fast steed. You got the super stealth.
That too.
That's you.
I can distance out of your spell too. I can distant cast that for you.
I mean, I could fly myself and two other people over, but I was just thinking from a saving spell slot sort of thing, just in case he's.
Yeah, you can definitely just get on behind me. And like if we need to be invisible, I can put my cloak on and I can greater invisibility you. And that's very low resources for me.
And I'll give a tooth to Gyasi or something like that, and before we head out, in case we need to send a message back.
Yes, I can take where she wants to go, and I can also send a prayer to Artemis as we're going. Kind of for help divining the battle from a nature perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
You send a prayer to Artemis and hope for her blessing in the coming battle. Make me a wisdom religion check. Get in touch.
No problem. A wisdom religion, so just roll a religion.
If you have a proficient wisdom skill, you could just roll that instead. Probably easier.
Okay. Wait, just any proficient wisdom skill? That would be 17.
17. You reach out to the power of the goddess Artemis. And though you feel that she always has your back, for whatever reason, her blessing doesn't come forth intensely, as if the goddess's mind is consumed with something else.
Cool. Bad vibe. But yeah, I'll just stay with Katara and help her out with whatever.
But so I guess before I leave, I'll look to the group and say, what information like do you want me to ask about? So choke point. I was gonna look for sure-footed ground between the pass and the mud dirt land. If there is any.
Okay.
And then yeah. Anybody else have an idea of terrain questions? I'll look for secret tunnels.
Look for secret tunnels. The party seems consumed with other things going on around camp. And you and Salanos can go on your nighttime escapade and gain knowledge of the terrain. Absolutely. So I'm going to say this is going to require 3 separate rituals. But with the speed and stealth of Silenos, I'd like you guys to roll me some stealth checks to see how your travels go and if they go without delay.
Okay.
As the pass may have their own scouts and dangerous things within them.
Or sorry, we're just doing like just a regular stealth check.
Yeah, regular stealth check. I'll need one from the deer as well, since you're utilizing it.
Cool.
I'm going to change your screen share back to TailSpot because I'm going to... Let me know when you got them.
Yeah, if we're being like really loud, I'm down to cast a pass without trace with us. Honest. But I got a 21.
Well, you decide. Yeah, you decide that before the check because you wouldn't be aware of what the roll is until you're out stealthing.
Gotcha. So that's my thing is like if I knew we were going into where I was saying, like I was saying, I would just invisibility Katara and then I can invisibility myself fully, like on command.
Right. Okay, so, understood.
Yeah. No,
so
it's
if you
all
get
good.
into trouble,
I did. Yeah. If we get into trouble, that's what I'm gonna do to duck out of it.
Understood. No problem there.
Deer got an 8. I got a 21.
21, Katara.
17.
17. Hopefully it goes well. Okay. Okay. You go soaring through the darkness, as it is quite dark by the time, or it quickly becomes dark as you get there. Twilight quickly seeping away. No trouble comes to you as you ride over towards the river where there is the rushing waterfall. You want to stop there first?
It's near the mud area that I was looking at, not the water specifically. So
okay. So you leave that space and you go directly to the mud and dirt land.
Unless I learned 3 things 3 different times, but I'm trying to make this fit.
Oh, it's a ritual. I assume you can, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so then we'll go to the water area. Okay. I understand what we're doing now.
Understood. We're going to the waterfall. You guys touch down. Katara, you spend however long it takes to cast your ritual. Does it have any consumable material components?
That's a good question. I sure have to check that. Nope, verbal and somatic.
Fantastic. How long is the casting time? Just out of curiosity.
It's 11 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
The ritual.
Is that 11 minutes with the ritual?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem. You sit down, you take 11 minutes to make your pentacle and candles and pig's blood and all that stuff because you're the scariest person on earth. And you create this ritual and you connect with the land, and you may ask it 3 questions.
Okay. Is there? I'll see if I can find information on like the river bed, like where the falls are, to see if when we do like the water push, if there's like an area where I think if you focus that, tidal wave, if it'll make the most impact because of the riverbed.
So you want to, I guess my question is, what do you mean by impact? Like what impact where? Like people walking down the river?
Yeah, so if I guess, I didn't think we were going to the river.
And
Because
this is
the idea
Tal'Dorei
is
spell, to be clear.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. On the bottom part of the water, where after the waterfall comes down, like not the fall area, but the base.
Yeah.
Where is the deepest part of that ground, so that if we're trying to funnel people, we know the direction.
The deepest part of the rocks, at the base of the waterfall. It's mostly like, under the surface to a degree, but it's mostly sort of like sharp cragged rocks. Erosion is sort of violently sharpened off
Where's
the
sharpest rocks? That'd be great.
Yeah,
sharpest rocks.
So through your first question, you will learn that the base of the waterfall is indeed filled with, sharp, uncomfortable rocks.
Okay. I'll look to Silenos and see if he has any thoughts.
Can I just, this is like kind of separate, but is this the area where we will have archers, or like this is the area where we're leading them into this spot and they'll be kind of stuck?
This is the phase 2 area where you guys are going to lead them to the river above the waterfall, where there's going to be some kind of dam trap in the water. You guys are intending to build some kind of dam to make the water, like, hit the giant force and wash them away, so to speak.
Yes. Won't that wash them towards Themyscira?
No.
No, backwards. Okay,
Right.
never mind. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the only question I would have about this: are there any like suspended areas between the river and, like the upper river, and the spot that we would be washing them down to, where archers could peek or not peek, perch? Basically, an advantageous
Where's the high
spot.
ground?
Yeah, where can the archers set up along this choke point if we're trying to set that up?
Probably on the ridge at the top of the waterfall would probably be, would make the most sense if you're looking for high ground. But you could also position them at the base of the waterfall, so while they're all like falling all over top of each other and trying to stand up, you've got people standing there ready to just fucking shoot them. And keep in mind, water creates difficult terrain too. So even if they do stand up pretty quick, they will need time to sort of get out of the water. So if you have people sitting at the bottom of the waterfall like this, and then just start filling them with arrows, that's pretty functional too.
Gotcha.
So anyway, back to your questions, Katara.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't have questions.
Okay. Do you have any other questions about the terrain, Katara? No is a valid option. You can always say no. You don't have to hurt your brain about it.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is if there's any like existing lead points that if we use like in basically the waterfall where the ground is softer for tunneling and purposes. I know it's an elemental, but I also figured it's only there for like an hour, so.
Where the ground is softer to tunnel through is what you want to know.
Yeah, it's a
I'll say
long
you
drop.
get a little, not really. I'll say, and you mean like under the riverbed, is presumably?
Because we're trying to stop the flow of water, so I'm just trying to like expedite the elementals like burrowing to help that, if there's any way to do that.
It's fine. I assume you guys will inform me the specifics of your plan when the plan comes about. But yes,
Okay.
your spell tells you where there's like particularly solid bedrock and where tunneling is a little easier underneath or around the river, whatever you want.
Cool. That's it for that section.
All right, that's it. You close up your ritual. You want to go to site 2? You want it to go to the Mudlands?
Yeah, the edge of the Mudlands, basically near the patch between the yeah.
Yeah,
Pass
I
without
understand.
trace.
Pass
So
without a
sorry.
trace. It's okay. I'm not worried about it with the pass without a trace. That means you guys are scoring like minimum 20, minimum 18 probably. Like you're doing really good. It's okay. Without face, let's roll them.
I'm really
Let's
bad
roll 'em.
stealth.
Pass without a trace for Katara, Silenos, and the doe.
Okay. 26. Okay.
Yeah, Silenos is fine. And you need your doe as well. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 46 for me and a natural 20 for the doe.
I lose Silenos.
You lose track of Silenos.
Yeah, like
Silenos loses track.
He's in front of me and I still can't see him.
Katara's just floating. She doesn't know how. She's just floating.
Silenos becomes one with like the darkness, like with Nyx
One with the
herself,
air.
and just he disincorporates and becomes a shadow. He just is a shadow now. All of his clothing dropped to the ground. He just is one with the darkness. Anyway, you succeed with your 46. I think that's maybe the highest roll I've ever heard across any game for the last 4 years I've been DMing, which is cool. Anyway, you get there and nobody notices. Not even Silenos notices. And yeah, you ask me 3 more questions, Katara.
Okay. So I'm looking for in the sort of the retreat area, looking for any areas where the ground is like significantly less stable. So where there's potential for people to like fall into the water or get a little bit more stuck.
I don't think you would learn of any natural places where like the ground's gonna fall apart under your feet. Like this is a solid piece of land. In fact, the reason it's probably existed is because there's a decent amount of bedrock there, so there's no quicksand or like potholes or anything like that.
I just was thinking swamps and muskegs. That's basically it.
Yeah, it's less of a swamp and more of like, yeah, I don't know, stone and mud.
Okay. Then I'll also ask for. It feels like it's very plain-like, and the only high ground area is the flank advantage there. But
the counterflank advance area, is that what you meant?
Yeah, like I'll try to get a bit more information on like how high the counterflank that ridge is.
Okay. And I assume you go to the pass and you ask your questions, and I'm less worried about that because that's where's the tightest spots.
Yeah,
where's the whatever. Point. That one's very easy, obvious questions that will provide advantages. You want to, so you go there, and you want to know how tall the ridge is.
I mean, I don't have any other questions to really ask. Actually, I do.
My one point is that like you can look at it, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say. If I was back there, yeah. I have a different question that I'd like to ask. Looking at this map again a little more closely. So there looks like there's ruins in that, like in front of the mountains.
Here? You mean here?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Where's the best like hiding spots in the ruins? Like where's really good cover in the ruins?
The ruins themselves probably hold terrific cover. I'll say it looks as it looks, is that it looks like it was carved from the mountain to some degree.
Yeah.
So there's large towering pillars. There's also an entrance into the sort of mountainside itself, possibly. So
And that was going to be the next question, with like secret, like tunnels, basically into the mountain.
Yeah, the tunnels lead into the mountainscape.
Is there an exit to the tunnel, or is it?
You would learn that
off?
there are multiple exits throughout the mountainscape. There could be like too many to count, like some that are only big enough for newts to go through, other that are like high up on mountain peaks that like humanoids could come in and out of, much larger ones that are like 20 to 30 feet tall. The mountain is full of tunnels, is what you basically suspect, with multiple entrances and exits.
Can I find a tunnel that goes to the pass?
From you
like...
can't. Yes, you can, but it would take a while to travel through it because it is a labyrinth basically down there. And you would also need someone who knows the tunnels very well if you wanted to get anywhere very quickly. Because it is indeed like, think of it like an anthill a little bit. Like not quite, it's not quite that, but still very difficult to navigate without somebody who knows them well. But there are big, large caverns and tunnels and that lead all through the mountainscape. And that seems to be the main entrance, whatever that giant stone temple thing is.
Is there anybody that would immediately stand out from like the battle side that seemed knowledgeable about the mountain terrain, or?
You want to go back and see if you can find somebody who knows the tunnels of that mountain?
I don't need to go back. I'm just trying to think if I know off the top of my head, if anybody like immediately stands out, like they would be the best person to help with this type of task. Maybe Ouroboros.
Make me a intelligence. Make me either a nature or survival check.
Okay. I'm bad at both of those. Oh, nature's not too bad, actually. 14.
14. Let me pose the question. Let me pose the situation to you like this. Let's say, Katara, let's say you know that there's like a nugget of gold in the queen's chamber of an anthill, and you turn into a little ant. How are you finding your way through the anthill with your current knowledge basis? Or how's anybody, for that matter? Like, let's say we took Silenos and shrunk him down with his great survival skills. Do you think he'd be able to find his way through?
I mean, Silenos is pretty survivally.
He is pretty survivally, but much like any unknown land, it needs to be mapped before it can be properly traversed. You could be the best pathfinder traveler in the world, but if you're in unknown lands and have never been there before in a terrain that you're not familiar with,
and so
you need what you need in order to navigate that place well is someone who knows the tunnels like now. You need at least you need a map or something like that. You need some way to navigate it.
Yeah. The only thing I was thinking is if I did the commune with nature at the front entrance of the tunnel near the ruins, that gets me 300 feet in. And then I could see, but I think I'll just see. I guess we'll go to the choke point and see if there's any exit.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you are very quickly approaching your, and I think I'm being pretty generous here about your 2 hours of downtime because you're not doing very downtimey stuff. But I will say you're very quickly approaching the end of that. And we'll call it, if you continue to traverse, we're going to call it a forced march for both of you. Which means that there's possibility for exhaustion.
So there's your face.
Yeah. And to be clear, I wasn't going to go through the tunnels.
I won't even get
I
tired.
understand.
That's the thing, is that Katara is just going to be getting tired. I can keep doing this shit.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
short rest.
the point being is that
Yeah.
No,
like,
I understand. We're
you've
cutting into
been
long rest time. Yeah,
riding around and doing rituals in the middle of the night stealthily for 2 hours, for getting close to 2 hours now. So you can continue to investigate, whether that's fly over to the one tunnel or not. You're getting tired. You've been marching all day, and now you're doing all of this. So you can keep going, but it will be a forced march.
I just had, it would just be 2 other questions. That would be it.
Okay.
So
Want to keep going?
I can ask the 2 questions.
Okay.
I'll look to
So you
Silenos. Does Silenos want to stay, or does he want to go back?
I will not get exhaustion. Yeah, so I'm cool. Yeah, you're
What
doing.
does the first level of exhaustion do again?
Disadvantage on all ability checks. To be clear, there's a con save here. It's not like you will get it. But there's a save to be made.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's gamble. Let's do the 2 questions.
Okay. You spend what time you had left to get back to camp to fly back into the mountain pass for the second time, and you, I want probably Silenos, because he's your survival guy. Make me a survival check to see if you can find this tunnel entrance that Katara has described from her ritual.
Tunnel entrance.
31.
31. Okay. So Katara, you go to the pass and you find this tunnel exit that you were seeking.
Okay.
Thanks to Silenos' tracking ability, you guys can land there. And it is big enough that it could see humanoid use. It's big enough for that purpose, but again, it leads into a vast network of tunnels through the mountain.
At the very least, people can hide in it, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'll just double check. So I'll check for choke point, and if there's any other tunnel exits within the pass aside from the one that we're at, just so that we at least know where the other ones might be.
You've already checked for choke points. You did that before you came to the counterflank. So you get here, and yeah, you learn of a number of other sort of notches in the side of the mountain, but they're only in the central part of the mountain. Everything out here seems to be unoccupied by these tunnel systems.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's it.
A number of them are sort of appearing from like a flat mountainscape. Others are very, very climbable, and you can discern which ones.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just try to. I'll try to point them out to Silenos so he can help me kind of mark them up on a map when we get back, I think, and then that'll be, I think, it.
Okay. You guys ride back. I need a con saving throw from both of you to see if this little gallivant has made you very tired. The answer is it has, but we'll see if it physically debilitates you.
Silenos breaks his ankle as he gets back onto his dough. Got to nat 1. So
I got a natural 20. Exact opposite.
Katara's fine. She's like, I love the night.
Excited.
But you, Silenos, you don't break your leg or anything, but you get on your dough and you're riding back and your eyes are drooping. It's hard to stay awake. You will take on a point of exhaustion from overdoing it a little bit.
Sorry.
You get back to a largely sleepy war camp. Is there anything else you want to do, or do you want to go to bed?
I'm going bed.
Go to bed.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Okay. that, the party all settles in. Katara and Silenos, maybe just Silenos, are gonna maybe be actually, yeah, Katara and Silenos, 'cause it's about what time you showed up. But Katara and Silenos, you may be sleeping in a little later than the rest of the army. You're pulling like an Achilles at the beginning of Troy. Not that intensely, not that you're missing the whole battle or anything, but sleeping in a little bit to make up for lost time. But you will all get your long rest in preparation for the battle coming tomorrow. And we'll take our break.
Yeah, I had one thing I was gonna see. If it's not allowed, that's totally fine. I was thinking about it as for, could I have left my bird by the ruins?
Sure. You leave your bird by the ruins. No problem.
That's it. Keep an eye
Foul
out,
demon!
giant.
Oh, yeah. Ouroboros also like was at the ruins the whole time and sees the bird and like
Kills it.
eats him up.
The best part about that natural 20 is that it becomes a 31 con save.
Jesus.
I don't need sleep.
Katara's con modifier is so much better than Selenos's. Like in terms of health, she actually looks more healthy than he does.
That's
brain.
You have that undeathly constitution.
Well, yeah, and I took something to boost that too. I can't remember what feat it was.
Selenos just has like the full European build where he's just like long and lean, but like his arms are basically the length of his bow anyway, so he's fine.
Oh my god.
Just those old archer like bodies, like where they had like one giant arm.
Yeah. One arm is just fucking stacked, the other arm is like
Hey, it's no joke. The English longbowmen were largely deformed.
Yeah.
Yep. One day, son, you'll grow up to be as deformed as your father, if you're lucky.
Oh, and the crossbow came out, and they were like, "Oh, that's better."
Well, it was easier to train. It wasn't necessarily better. It didn't take as much practice.
I'm so sorry that took so long. I was not prepared to have the opportunity to ask more than the 2 questions that I had.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of spiraled.
No problem. All good. All good. Fuck, it's so hard not to use the same boards again. You find such good canyon maps, and then like I've already used them, so I can't use them again. Ooh, maybe this one. I never got to use it.
Do you need anything? Kitchen, honey? Do you need water? You got water?
Did long rest at some point, right?
Do you need nipples?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can try it with this board. Let's try
Oh
this.
yeah. Okay, we're good. I was rolling for chaos too. We're fine.
Oh no, I became Cthulhu. Sorry, Salanos.
We come back and I'm like, whatever that contagion spell is, flat rock.
Guys, I'm really sorry about this, but I ate Silenos when I turned into an aberrant horror.
Yeah.
Really a shame. We're gonna
What can you do?
What can you do? That board sucked. I thought it was good, but it sucked.
I need more coffee.
Give me the mountain pass. Give me a mountain pass. I need sucks. That's really cool, but it sucks.
Oh man, I always remember. I always, make the mistake of looking at my passive skills with this character, and then I just get sad.
Why? Because your characters. Oh, this
They're
board
so shit.
sucks. They're so shit.
Like insight's 18, which is pretty good, but then perception's 12 and investigation's 11. Like, she's not
They're
very.
fine.
She's not
Fine stuff. Oh no.
But like
Oh no.
my other characters have always been like 18, 19, like 20 in those other categories. So it's always weird to me to like look and be like, are those the right numbers? Yeah, okay, fair. My character's just not. She doesn't pay attention.
It's not. I'll be right back. It just comes.
I full on just have secret tunnel stuck in my head, guys. That's such a good song.
Cool.
Ah, okay. Hmm. Oh, the gesture. Ryan, do you have any thoughts on the Daggerheart thing that came out?
I haven't checked it out yet, actually. I've heard of it a little bit, but I haven't checked it out.
I watched like the very high level, like here's how to play video, and I got a wee bit confused, but I feel like that's natural.
Yeah, new systems are always confusing.
I remember with how confused I was with just D&D. So like,
Oh
wait, what do
yeah,
you
yeah.
mean?
What do you mean I can't do this? I do like the cooperative storytelling aspect, but you can really put that anywhere. So maybe I just need to learn more to understand the draw.
I guess I get from
Just
the
like the hope
sounds
and
of it,
despair dice.
yeah, and I guess from like a DM's perspective, it allows you to still, I guess, maybe steer people in the right direction a bit. It's like rather than like
Oh,
this is like I'm only looking for this thing, you're like, oh, you're doing this, but you're gonna get good results, you're gonna get bad results. I don't know. I don't DM, so I don't
okay.
know. But
All right, that's interesting.
it's just either like
Interesting.
you win, but something bad still happens, or like not in the
Uh,
way you intended or something like that, from my understanding. But I want to watch like the playthrough that they do to see.
I gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. One thing done. One thing. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I haven't
I'm
done too much yet.
I still would like to watch their Candela Obscura stuff. I just haven't gone. I'm too busy with other things.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Just
like
busy.
I've fallen off even with the campaign that they had. So it's like, oh,
Yeah, campaign three, it's just not it isn't doing it for me either. Not like it could be.
I'm gonna I'm gonna take all next week off to write a paper.
Ooh.
Well, proposal. It's the name of the paper.
Yeah, I got you.
That is.
Okay.
Hmm. Ah,
Oh shit, new minis. I love fucking minis. I
no
shouldn't be
minis.
doing. Yeah, new minis. I don't need the purple one again. Oh, rock. Night claws. Cheating. Ooh, a lich. Cool.
Oh, savage.
Um,
Throw them on the board.
yeah, let's just throw a lich in there. Why not? You guys are cool with that, right?
I
Disrupting the
can learn
lore
so
for.
much from it.
And he'd be like, oh, I'm such a huge fan.
Yeah. That's Katara's romance.
Oh my God. And it's like, get away from me. And you're like, "Ooh." It's like a Pepe Le Pew, but reversed. It's like, why are you doing this? Leave me alone. It's like, no. What is love?
No, I think the theme song to that would have to be Bad Romance. I'm sorry.
Uh, that's fair. That's fair. Can't argue with that. Assholes. You bastards. Oh,
What happened on Brandon? I thought he was coming.
yeah, I don't know what I think he said something about being on a drill.
Uh,
That's
I
already a
thought
3 space. Why is
well, how did the pygmy owl mission go?
what was that?
How did the pygmy owl mission go?
Oh, it went all right. Owls aren't that smart, so it got in the way here and there.
Hmm. Okay.
But it went well. It went all right. All right. This feels terrible, but whatever. Ooh, I'll use the ogre because they're small. Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
Ew. 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 God, I hate hill giants. They're so gross.
Ew.
Ew. Ew.
I
Ew. Ew.
figure where that was going. I was like, what's happening?
Freaking gross, man.
Fucking PowerPoint slide, guys. Woo.
Just waiting on Dahlia. And we'll get started when she gets back. Oof. Oops. Oh, oops. Okay, I think it's best we get started, and Dahlia will pop up. Dahlia is ready to pop up.
No.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, let's do this. I'll do some. Yeah, let's do this for theme's sake. Okay, screen share. Do some battle music. Okay. You all awaken. It's the day of the battle. You go to war with giants. Last time you came in and involved yourself in some skirmishes and the aftermath of some battle. This one's different. You are going to be on the front lines. You're joining. You've even helped form the tactics. And this isn't a come in and save the day and clean up at the last minute. This is from start to finish, join in a large-scale, long-term battle in the war for Themyscira against the giants. There's much riding on this. If the Amazon army falls here, Themyscira will be vulnerable. And so, we all rise. The armies sort of divide, prepare themselves for what is to come. You are all to join. You will be joining with the army that is going to be commanded by the Valinor Annex, by Anaxiopolis. All the armies gather, prepare to march into the valley. But before they do, Niobe sort of takes the front to speak words of encouragement to her great armies. Well.
Kimberly's joining.
If only Ouroboros was here, not some person, Kimberly. You motherfucker. Anyway, I'll come back to it. Niobe stands at the head of her army and prepares to command them and rouse their spirits. She says, Amazons, warriors of Themyscira, the greatest warriors in all of this side of the world and beyond, hear me now. At the edge of our blade and the tips of our arrows, we will win today. We drove the giants back from Themyscira. We drove them into the pass, running, crying with their tails between their legs, all the way back to their Titan master. They come now to try and stop our advance on their capital, but we will have blood for blood. They spilled the blood of your sisters, your family. Will you let them stop our advance here? There's a no from the armies. It says good. No, we will not stop at here. We will kill every giant who dare stand in our way in this valley, and we will advance forward. We will slay every giant, and they will know for all time the Amazons are the slayers of giants, as they were so long ago. No more shall we be marred by the cowardice of past queens. Know that I stand with you, and that we fight with the fury of Ares and the madness of Dionysus, and they stand at our side with the children of the gods. We cannot lose! And there's a screaming from the Amazon warriors that would that the voice of many hundreds of warriors that sounds through the pass and hopefully puts some fear in the hearts of giants. And she says, scream now, holler your war cries, let those giants know on the other side of the valley that death is coming for them. And they scream and holler as loud as they possibly can, banging their feet into the ground, clashing their spears into their shields, and trying to make so much noise as to startle the oncoming giant threat to know that the mortals are not afraid. And with that, the armies divide. Per your careful planning, one army makes its way to the mountain pass, the other to the other side of the mountain, and prepares themselves to confront this giant menace. You all will be standing alongside Annex Valinar to lure as many giants as possible into the pass, whereas you have faith that the giants on the other side of the pass will do well to protect your escape for when the giants overrun you. Inevitably overrun you. So, we have some stuff to handle. The battle, this is a two-phase battle, and there's two armies fighting against two armies. As the giants come to you all, we need to make a very important roll. This roll is for your army versus their army in the pass. And once we're done with dealing with you guys, we will then roll against the two armies on protecting your flank. So we'll need to roll against one another, as I've already calculated all the modifiers based on the benefits and detriments of both armies. So, who is going to take responsibility for rolling the dice to see if your army is victorious against the giants? There will be play. This is only the first part. This isn't going to determine everything that happens here, but it is a very important part that will shape the course of the battle. So, which demi-thought wants to take responsibility for rolling for the success of the army you fight with in the pass?
Hey, it's the guy who shows up last who gets voluntold.
Yeah, we think. Is there anybody else?
They're gonna make me come back and roll for this bitch.
That's right.
Thalia
has all the fucking modifiers in the world that you put on a roll.
That's my question. Am I allowed to use like favored by the god and inspiration and
You just
roll you get, well, if you have player inspiration, you can use this, but this isn't about your personal power or personal success, Thalia. This is a roll for the entire army. This has nothing to do with your personal powers, Thalia. This is just me picking a player to determine the success of your entire army.
Oh. I think whoever has player inspiration should roll.
Okay.
I think it's the king of the giants.
I feel that. I feel that though.
All right, Ouroboros. You will be rolling for Army 1 to see how their progress is on the first part. You are going to be rolling as with all your modifiers calculated. You will be rolling D20 plus 13.
13?
Yep. We've calculated morale, supply lines, blessings from the gods, quality of troops, commanders. 13 is the modifier for this army. We'll see if it can stand up to the might of a giant army.
Okay. Do we get to know the modifier of the other team?
Nope. Unless someone did some espionage or some scouting to try and figure that stuff out, which nobody did. Nope.
I guess.
But hey, you have more battles ahead of you. Maybe that's something you want to try in the future.
Maybe. Because screwed up morale.
Okay. So, am I rolling it, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it.
All right.
D20 plus 13. We'll see how you do.
If I roll really good here, then it was all for good. If I don't, then you're all just going to hate me. So this is
yes. Yes. Correct.
1 D20 to rule them all.
Yes.
I have it locked in the chamber. The question is, should I roll it on?
Fire that damn crossbow of yours.
Yeah, use your little crossbow. I was going to say.
Got it.
D20 plus 13.
Choose the die.
Yeah.
The solid colored one.
Yeah.
The
black straight
one.
onyx, whatever.
Oh, okay. That one's metal, a little heavier. It'll do more damage.
It'll do more damage when you hit your screen with it.
Because that's broken. Like, well, we never know.
All right, ready?
Fire will.
Ready? Eight. Fire. Did knock the board in. $17 on the die.
Hey,
On the
17
die.
17 on the die is really good. That's going to bring you to a 30 total. That is a high fucking roll. Well done. I'm going to roll for the Giants now.
All hail the conquering hero.
He's smiling, guys.
I want to play or
Oh crap.
do it in a second. We'll do it in a second. I gotta control myself. Okay. The battle. So I'm gonna just this is where the cinema comes in. This is where the narrative comes in to help describe the
He's trained
things
his
that
life
are
for
coming.
this moment.
I have. I think you guys are gonna like this mass. Well, I know I am. I'm gonna like this mass combat thing. Okay, you position your armies in the pass. You send, perhaps on what horses you have, you send some Orion warrior archers out of the pass to lure the giants, a large force, to begin to lure them into the pass for when they're ready. You will be fast. They will be faster on horseback, and their arrows will be sharp enough to hopefully tempt the giants forth. They scream and holler and yip, and let the giants know that this is where their battle may lie. The giants, they advance. Arrows, your army into some of the giants, some hill giants, step back, stone giants into their arms, and some roaring from giant kind, hill giants running across the pass towards the riders. They continue to sort of skirmish widely as horse archers do, just trying to draw as many giants in as possible. And just before they get overwhelmed, they sort of let out the call, into the pass, fall back! And they feign retreat as they fall into the pass, and the giants lay in pursuit. Many giants do go into the pass. And with a really good roll, a great deal of them are drawn into the pass, in fact. Not all, but many. But of course, there is some more Moruk Sectoriati Zimiastor, and the armies do diverge as you suspected, as you had planned and hoped that they would do. One set of army goes around, hopefully making their attempt around the mountain to try and outflank your retreating horse ladies, and the rest of them file into the pass to sort of advance against the horse archers. They ride in back as the giants, some of them fall to arrows, absolutely. Some of the giants fall to arrows, but some of them throw rocks. Look out! Smashes into some of the Amazon warriors. There is no battle where there are not losses on both sides, and some indeed horse riders do fall under the great stones of hill and stone giants. They charge into the pass, and as Katara, with her rituals, was able to determine the tightest, most precise point in the canyon where they would be funneled into the most delicate point, Amazonian warriors appear on the ridges, mouths of the mountain, and high peaks, and let out a and a huge hail of arrows. Hundreds and hundreds of arrows fly into the pass, covering the retreat of what remaining horse archers are, and just decimate leagues and leagues of the giants. There's no defense for them. They bring their hands up to try and guard, but it is rain. The arrows come down, blotting out the sun in this pass as they do. And the giants can do nothing but try and desperately run over top of the great mass of their fallen kin to try and come after your horse archers. Some of them begin to cling to the stone walls, but members of the Amazons on the far side of the wall shoot them off of the canyon, falling down, almost becoming projectiles. It is a mess for the giants, a humongous miscalculation on their part. they fall and fall and fall over and over again, and the Amazons are winning a decisive victory in the past, but it is not to last forever. Giants have a magnificent constitution, and they are very large. And these stone giants, they are built for the mountains. It's like fucking D-Day down there. No shit. Like they're climbing up there, and they're making their way up that beach, up the side of that mountain, up a hard fought battle. And for every stone giant that makes it to the top of where an Amazon might be positioned, they lose maybe five, 6, 7 stone giants to get that one man up there. And your Amazons are well prepared for the pass. Retreat back, as the words are called out and forth. As all of you stand on the pass, that's definitely striking a hero pose as you're standing on that high ridge, like looking down at the battlescape below. You see the Annex Valinar call out to you and says, "Demi-Thoughts! There are women that are trapped on the pass. You must get to them." And sort of calls down for you all to make your way down the pass to try and aid these Amazon warriors. Do you go? All right. You guys all head down. It seems that the battle is well in hand and a decisive victory is on the way. But you ride down off of the mountain slope and make your way down to find, indeed, there are about maybe 20 Amazons, maybe more, maybe less, that are cornered by a series of hill giants. A very strange stone giant that has a personal guard. She's a stone giant that is endowed in many hides, and it seems to have strange items growing out of her body. Maybe you've seen them, something like this once before on your adventures, but has strange things. Has a marble pillar growing out of their shoulder, has a wagon wheel sort of in their chest, just underneath the skin, has a spear sort of lodged through their hip, but all of it seemingly grown out of their body rather than piercing into their body. A most odd and strange creature. But you all ride in to protect your fellow Amazons, and I will have you all roll initiative if you so kind.
We've seen a stone giant like this before, correct?
Oh yes.
Yeah. You have.
The Dreamweaver or something?
That's right.
And for context, the commander did not tell me to use my darkness, right? Essentially, that they were doing so well they didn't need it.
They were cleaning up over there. You could have if you wanted to, but they were just cleaning up giants down there.
No, if I wasn't told, if it wasn't like desperate, I wouldn't have done it, because to Yassi's point, it can be used later too.
Got it. So you rolled a 30. My guys rolled. Okay. You guys come charging in. As you do, I need to roll some stuff myself.
On the way here, were we able to get at least 2 long rests?
Yeah. Wait.
After I got my
just the
2
one,
points of exhaustion?
Yeah, just the one.
Oh, so I got 1 point of exhaustion.
No, I'm pretty sure we got 2 long rests, because it's morning now, right? Like, we just got a long rest and we took a day to travel.
That is a good point. Yes, you did. Luckily, Ouroboros missed the 2 days of travel, so there was no more potential exhaustion coming from various warriors.
He's just being carried in a cart behind everybody.
I imagine the reason why I haven't seen Ouroboros is because he's been fucking hiding. He's been like around rocks and shit, just trying to fucking recover his constitution.
Oh yeah, I never got my one-on-one tutoring session with Thalia, so that probably helped also. So
yeah, you were too scared to come to camp to get your lessons, it seems. But there's still time. All right, stone. Oops. That is all that is needed from me. Okay, that's gonna be.
As a note, if Thalia would have wanted it while we were walking, I would offer for her to ride on the Jaguar if she.
Oh yeah, I definitely want it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll probably be on my doe if that matters.
No, yeah, you're good. Okay, initiative. Let's do initiative. 25 to 20.
29.
29. 20 to 15.
19.
What'd you get, Kiasi?
18.
15 to 10.
15.
And oh, sorry. And 10 to 5.
I got 8.
All right.
Really glad that first physical dice that I rolled was not this one.
Okay, you guys ride in. Feel free to let me know if there's any, if you'd be mounted, Silenos. You wanted to be mounted, I assume? Yeah, okay, I'll get you.
Yeah, I think naturally I'm just riding my doe whenever we're traveling at this point.
Got it. So what do you do, my friend?
Yeah, if it's just going into it. So those giants there are attacking that little force of Amazon, if I'm understanding correct.
That's right, they're pinned up in the cliff. These giants managed to get up the mountain.
Okay, cool. No problem. I'm gonna dash off on the doe, 80-foot speed towards.
Okay, you can always dash your doe if you wish.
Yeah, I might dash and I'll just go a little bit above, like I'll fly into the air a little bit above the Amazons. Maybe not using the full speed, but maybe about 60 feet. Yeah, like that's perfect.
Cool. So you got 20 left.
Yep. Honestly, I'll just like kind of be, maybe that's just the pace I'll be running on the doe. And as I'm flying, I'm gonna take some shots at these closest. Actually, no. What language would the Amazon speak? Just common?
Depends on who you're dealing with, but generally common, yeah. Greek, we'll say.
Yeah, no worries. As I'm riding up, I'll utter my phrase on my oath bow and swear this this like stone, the dream walker giant, my sworn enemy. And I'll just say, Amazon, stand with me. Today, the giants fall. And yeah, mark him my
Maybe
sworn.
a performance check. Maybe a performance check to raise morale.
Cool. 20.
20. There's this as they all scream in their morale raised at the sight of the demi-thoughts arriving. Always Silenos first, it seems, on these battlefields.
Nice. Yeah, and I'll attack him sharpshooter at advantage.
Got it.
Just
fucking
one
snipers.
more. Oh, nice.
Wait a minute, I could be a nice guy, he says.
Second one's better. 10. 23. 18 to hit.
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sweet. So 10, 20 plus. 33 damage on that shot.
All right, good job. You fire a very decisive shot right into his chest.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could do a commander strike to let someone else attack, but I don't think anyone's really in range yet, so I'll just wait on that. Yeah, I'll take another shot.
Okay.
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter.
Are the ones that are like sideways dead or something?
Yeah, they're dead.
Okay.
Oof.
They're just very sleepy.
That rolled really weird. 20 minus 5. I'm gonna use a superiority die to add a d8 to that.
All right.
16 hit.
16 does not hit. This time it bounces off of his hard stone skin.
Cool. Yeah, immediately I'll just redraw an arrow, Stalker's Flurry. Just make another free attack.
Go for it.
Again.
Stalker's Fury.
Oh my god. I rolled a 3 and a 7 and a 2 and a 6.
Ooh.
So that's a 19 minus 5 is 14. I'll do another precision. 14 plus 8. That's a 22.
22 will hit. Roll some damage.
20. Yeah. Jeez, guys. Let's not talk about it.
Brain.
Let's not talk about it.
let's
19. That's gonna be 42 damage.
Fucking 42 fucking damage. You fire one, you fire the second one, and again it's that fuck I overdrew, and your hand's already on the next arrow as the next one is loosed from your bow. You quickly draw back, fire another one just reactively, and you go for your third because you are a Gloomstalker.
Mm-hmm.
Or technically your fourth at this point. And then I'm gonna action search do 2 more.
No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can.
I am gonna like call up to Zeus as I do that sworn enemy, and I'm gonna bonus action lightning arrow. I have to call it before, so.
Did you already bonus action by making him your sworn enemy?
I don't think that's a bonus action. When you knock an arrow, when you use this weapon to make a range attack, you can, as a command phrase, say swift death. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about bonus action.
Okay, then yeah, you're good. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you can lightning arrow that one, pull that up.
Sweet, so that'll just go as another attack at advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Much better. That's a 25 to hit.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sweet.
I don't think there's anyone in his radius because it's a 10-foot radius, right?
Yeah, that's no problem. I am casting this using a 4th level spell slot.
All right. So yeah, a bolt of lightning will streak down your bow and you'll fire it off. Fucking cannon. Just call him Sonos the cannon. You want cannons for your boat, Thalia? You already got one. His name's Silenos.
He's the canon main character. That's what he is.
Big pun energy.
Ah, ah, ah.
Oh, I didn't even get to use any of my features before you fucking kill me.
I actually need to recruit that guy. So, oh well, he's dead. He's dead.
No, sorry, I killed him. You don't get that one.
That is gonna be 56 damage.
Fucking hell. He is very bloodied. Like, and then like a lightning explosion goes off in his chest. He
Yeah, and
steps
I
back,
just look to the
drops to a knee.
Amazons, and I just
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. They're and they all like charge in the advance. They are invigorated by your presence. You sure you're not gonna action surge? You don't want to 1v1 this one down? You don't want to take her. You don't want to take her out.
Don't fall for it. Someone's coming.
You don't want to do it.
I'll let everyone else. I'll let everyone
round?
else have some fun. I'll let everyone else have some
All
fun.
right. It's always so kind, even when murdering someone. Very kind.
I don't trust it.
I just wanted to see Salanos kill my fucking main boss in fucking one
All right,
round.
fuck it, action surge. Fuck it, action surge. You want to see it?
No. You said it's too. No, I'm kidding. Go for it. Go for
Want
it.
to see it? Action surge. Fine.
Because I'm like, what? Like, fuck me. Like, why not? Let's just kill my main guy in one round. Let's fucking do it.
21 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, terrible. 16. Uh, 32 damage on that shot.
32 damage. How do you want to kill the Dreamwalker commander of this army?
Oh, Silenos is gonna, he'll, imagine as he does some sort of spell or something, he will, kneecap each, each leg, drop him to his knees.
Fuck.
And then, he will, like, shoot, he has, like, a stone tablet or something, right? He'll shoot the tablet.
He's got things growing out of his body. Sure, there's maybe, like, a huge tablet or something.
Yeah, or, like, whatever he's kind of using, doing the central of this magic focus, he'll shoot that, and then he will just shoot like straight through the chest as he kind of exposes it. And I imagine with that lightning, it'll kind of break like a core, and then the last shot will just go straight through, kind of. And he'll use actually just one of his like special arrows just to like, you know.
All right. So yeah, you ride up and you're like, Amazons, like, we're fucking great. And they're like, they scream out and holler at your arrival in the battle. Fuck, maybe you guys should just send Salanos in the war. Like, you guys could have just stayed home. You know. But anyway, yeah. So Salanos opens up with the first shot doesn't quite hit. You pull the next arrow immediately and fire 2 more shots. So one arrow, knee, like immediate knee shot, and it sort of stumbles. As it's stumbling, you didn't quite expect the sort of tilt of the knee, and the arrow sort of ricochets, bounces off the side of the knee, but immediately follows up with another one. Fucking kneecaps him, falls to 2 knees, grabs at his knees. You load up another arrow, charge it with lightning, fire it, puts his arm up to protect himself, and there's like, his arm is basically like a pillar growing out of his skin. The arrow just fires right through it. His arm snaps off as it just explodes through his arm, hits him in the chest, and creates like, basically like a jagged crack, like an earthquake just opened up in his chest that's charged with lightning. And it sort of looks down at it. You sort of tilt your head, draw the last arrow. You like go for that +2 or whatever you got. You fire that, splits the lightning arrow, splits the crack even wider, and just goes out the back and goes flying off into the distance as you just cut his heart in half with the tip of an arrow. And he looks at the other giants and just eyes roll into the back of the head, drops to the ground. There's this ghastly sound that emanates from the bodies, and the giants just and their morale's fucked in this moment as you just effortlessly kill their leader, their most potent giant on the field.
Salanos will just turn to the demi-thoughts, like kind of like drift the horse in midair, just put his bow in the air and just like Ouroboros pouncing and Gyasi like diving in. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, as we've said before, many of these Amazon women look up and go, wow. But they're like, yeah! And then they go charging in. Fucking stone giants fuck off. That's what they do. That's the plan.
Making them lose focus, Silenos.
They go, nope. This guy runs over to here. This one like turns back, goes, anyone who understands giant basically says, no, turn back. No, it's over. That's literally what he says as he like starts to mount the side of the mountain to like drop down and leave. And there's like, well, what's going on? The Dreamweaver's dead. Don't even the Dreamweaver. And they're just like, the morale's fucked. They're all running. They fucking run. They're done. They're like, nope. No, thank you. That's okay. This guy fully throws himself off the mountain. Yeah, they turn to leave. Thalia, what did you want to do? Besides admire Silenos, of course.
As we all do.
Yeah.
He's so hot.
Silenos is way. I'll cast. I'll do Emboldening Bond.
Of course. No. You all realize in that moment, like, damn, I love these guys. They're great. As it so happens every now and then with Thalia, just makes you feel that bond.
That'll be the 4 of us that are still back there.
All right.
And then I'll quicken cast a 2nd level bless and put that on the 4 of us that are back there.
Thalia's like, you can kill the commander, but you don't get any buffs. And buffs the whole rest of the party.
Yeah.
So there. Is there anything else you wanted to do, Thalia?
Nope.
Okay, gotcha. Yasi, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'll just move 40 feet forward. That's it. Point at one of the hill giants.
Man.
Wait, can I move forward? I forgot about that.
Sure, you can move forward 30 feet. I forgot I had legs.
Wait, these things move?
That's okay.
Whoa, these things work?
This is crazy.
She's usually being carried, so she forgets.
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah.
Thalia's usually like on a plinth being carried around, so she's,
I'm being carried by the leopard right now, so.
Oh, that's right. You got a little leopard under you, right?
Carry me over there, leopard, jaguar.
Move forward.
I just like centrally located for my emboldening bond. I wish it was more than 30 feet, but it's.
I only have a phase panther, so you get a phase panther.
Is that like a displacer beast?
I guess so.
I got a buff.
Non-copyright displacer beast?
Guess not, huh? No, I'll start looking for what I got for that. But anyway, you're on the back of a jaguar because you wouldn't want to get your feet, dirty or anything like that. That would be bad.
Yeah.
I
will not sully my feet on this battlefield.
Oh,
there you go. You get a proper displacer beast. That's your mount. I gotta use displacer beasts more. They're fucking sweet, dude.
They showed them so cool in the fucking D&D movie.
Yeah. Displacer beast fucking rocks. So yeah, the displacer beast just kind of just like pads up, like no big deal. All right, now Gyasi, you move forward. You sort of like to one of the hill giants. Make me an intimidation check.
I could see one of the hill giants doing that shit.
18.
18. He goes, you're like, he's like, he's like, Dreamwalker's fucking dead. Katara, do you want to do anything?
I look to the hill giants
Yeah.
and say sorry. The stone giants are assholes. I say sorry to the hill giants.
Are they just gonna run? What's the point of being in initiative?
Yeah, we just walk past this. I just want to make sure anybody got anything else they wanted to do.
I mean,
go ahead, Katara.
Okay, so if we had time, I would have ritually casted Phantom Steed.
Okay, sure, you can be on a Phantom Steed. That's no problem. Oh, look at all this cool shit I gotta download later. Yeah, I'll find you. I'm just gonna give you a. All my mods are still screwed up, so I'm just gonna find you a normal horse for now.
Yep.
Alrighty then. So yeah, you got your Phantom Steed.
And so I would basically move the 100 feet speed, getting pretty close.
Come on, you. You're flying across the battlefield. You're just as cool as Salanos.
Okay, and then just because really want to send them packing.
Yep.
Can I, if I drop like a 40-foot sphere in that area, can I get the hill giants, all 3 of them, without the Amazons?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got no doubt. I don't. What the fuck? It's too bright. I can't see shit. All right. You wanna? What's the range?
120 feet.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So I'll cast.
Oh shit! You're not good. You're not good. You can dash your horse though. Get closer.
Oh, if I. Nah, I
You
can't.
dash your horse
It's
right
an
up to where
action.
Salanos is. Oh, it's an action.
So that
For
would be.
you?
I mean, it's an action for me to cast. I don't. Is it not an action to dash with the horse?
No, it's your horse's action to dash.
Oh, then yeah, sure. I'll get right next to Silenos and just like give him a thumbs up.
Got it.
And then I basically just want to be like death coming for them, and then like as I get there, like have the horse on the hind legs or whatever, and I will drop Hypnotic Static on the 3 giants, and they need to make an intelligence saving throw.
Damn, one rolled a nat 20, which is cool. What's your DC?
19.
Intelligence saving throw for hill giants. They don't do that. 18, you say?
19 is my DC.
So the nat 20 fails because they have a -3 intelligence. So the guy's like, well, I am the smartest of hill giants, so I do not know if I'm going to... And your static goes off and fries his brain.
Okay, so they all take...
I was going to go to university. How about all this?
They all take 22 psychic damage. And they're also... They have to roll a d6 because they're all basically muddled thoughts for a minute. So any attack or ability check and the Constitution saving throw that it would make to sort of break this, they have to subtract a d6.
Got it. Okay, understood. D6. I'm gonna put one right here. Sorry. If there's nothing else.
No, that's it.
That's all. The hill giants are. Well, the thing is they're very stupid. So they don't particularly stupider, yeah. So they're like, why are they running? And they all just they're like, yeah, we're so cool. And they're gonna just keep swinging their big old clubs down at the little folk.
They've got a negative d6 on the attacks.
They do. Only, oh, mess. So only 2 attacks were gonna hit, but their brain is too fuzzy for them to really think about connecting quite right. So it like this one Amazon's like can't quite get out of the way, and he just kind of just kind of forgets why he's there and doesn't quite get the swing in. So they all kind of stay there, and then they're like and they kind of turn and run a little. Nah, they stay because they're stupid. And I'm just gonna narrate the rest of this because and the or we'll give Ouroboros his turn. I want to make sure Ouroboros. Is there anything you wanted to do in the fight there, Ouroboros, before I do the Amazons? I'm just gonna take them all at once.
Yeah. Is there any chance that the Dreamweaver could be stabilized?
What? Fuck no. Against Silenos?
I know it's a big ask for such an amazing warrior, but you know.
Silenos doesn't.
Dare you dishonor my hunt?
He's too powerful. We gotta put him down. We gotta put him down.
Silenos doesn't take prisoners. Ouroboros is the answer to that.
That's the best comment at the very end of the turn order. Actually,
that was.
Could we have
you dishonor my hunt? I love that shit.
You made the next part easy. That's how I'm looking at it.
Oh god.
That's so funny. So anyway, certainly not for you, and for True, you'd be surprised if Silenos gave him any quarter.
I don't even think I can get over there. How far is that?
Pretty fucking far. Some of you are really quick now, so I have to kind of space it out. Couple 100 feet. 200-ish feet.
Let me see here. Yeah, I couldn't get there even if I wanted. I think I'll just kind of like reserve my power here, and I'll just be like, like how the commanders sit in the back.
You can count on it.
And I won't fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure this. He'll just kind of have his foot on a rock, like Captain Morgan kind of, and looking over at the battlefield.
Yeah.
Squinted eyes.
Yeah. Maybe you're like still up there. You're like, we have like a Vox Machina versus the Goliath moment where like, except rather than everybody jump in, like everybody's like on the edge. She's like, you gotta go help those Amazons, and Ouroboros are like, dummy thoughts. Get them. And they go flying down the mountain, and you're still like up there on the top. You suddenly have a cape for some reason, and you stand up there and just watch the battle and go, good.
If I'm not attuned to the Golden Fleece, I can still wear it, right?
Yeah, I can still wear it.
Okay,
cool.
I have that bitch on at all times. At all times.
Fair enough. You watch this, and we're gonna come to the Amazons, and I'm gonna be a little cheeseball here, but one of the Valinor looks back and says, "They look thirsty. Let's give them something to drink." And they start,
oh my God.
Start pushing them back towards the edge of the water, like just sort of like cutting them. They're like, and they're like forcing them to step back because their blades are like razors and their spears are sharp points. And they just sort of push back the hill giants. The stone giants are trying to descend down the mountain. 3 hill giants tumble down, scatter across a number of stone giants that fall to the mountain's bottom, where arrows still rain down. Yeah, boulders, exactly. The Amazons sort of, and they just scream out a war cry, Silenos, Silenos, Silenos. The hunter rangers of the Amazons call out, and a command is given up high from the annex for them to go somewhere else. And frankly, they'll send you guys to just like clean up little things here and there. But the truth of the matter is, just like this fight, there's not much for you guys to do because your army was so well prepared, rolled so well, and that you guys are just there for like a little bit of damage control here and there, where like mistakes are made, because in all battles, mistakes are made. But it is eventually the fight does pick up for you guys as you're trying to help more and more people be extended a little far, and then finally you hear the 3 blasts of retreat. It's time to fall back. They're getting too high up the mountain. You've decimated their forces, probably. Absolutely obliterated them, but it was only inevitable that you would have to fall back from this position to the second stage of your assault, and you fall back. As you fall back out of the canyon, we will deal with morale and casualties in a minute, but we have something more important to do first. Meanwhile, on the other side of the mountain pass, the second giant army moves to outflank the Amazons, but they are surprised to see another Amazon force lying in wait. I need someone to roll a d20 to determine how well that these Amazons do against their opponents. Who would like to roll?
I did do pretty well the first time.
Did, or if you want to pick somebody, we basically voluntold you.
Hey man, I always got it on me.
Okay.
Keep that thing on me, kid.
All right, for this one, we going purple and gold, or the fucking metallic death demonic dice.
I'm into purple and gold.
Purple and gold.
Purple and gold sounds
royalty.
Okay.
It's true.
That's
It's true.
the king of kings.
Matching your cape.
Less weight, more velocity though. Severely damaging to those without body armor.
It's true. Sure.
All right. Ryan, give me the call.
You, again, well, actually, it's a little less for this one. Plus 12 to your roll.
Mm-hmm. Ready me to shoot, sir.
Firing ready.
Firing.
What?
Natural 20.
Hey! So that's a 32?
32.
They do even better, dude.
They do even better, which is surprising because you guys had like the super outflank position over here, but to the great shock and awe of the other army, they come around and you have Annex Orion there with the armies lying in wait. They're hiding in the ruins of the mountain entrance temple, and others on the ridge. Like, bitches. And they do it. They go down in front of the ridge rather than up and above it. They're like, fuck yeah. And the Amazon leader stands up and goes, kill them all! And Amazons scream as a huge volley of arrows lands on top of them. The Amazons go, what horses they have, they bring out into a cavalry ride down the mountain. More Amazons go running into a mad infantry charge. The Giants are actually don't have a specific well-trained commander to guide them. They were like, just go around and outflank them. That's your job. You can fucking handle it. So they don't have a commander to sort of corral them in this moment. They're disorganized, bumping into each other. Frankly, terrified by the just mad, bloodlusting valor of these warriors. And they go gliding into the Giants down the mountain and just tear them apart. On the other side of the mountain, giant blood spills into the river and will fill it for some time. The shores turn red with Giants' blood, and the Amazons just tear through them. They have no difficulty holding the Giants back from getting into the flanking position for the rest of the Amazon army. It will come about, possibly, that you may need to move to the phase 2 of your battle, but that brings us to the next portion of this war turn. We need to determine morale, and we need to determine losses for both sides. So, a lot's got to it, because you might have just beat them right here and now with these fucking rolls. Let's take a look. So,
Let me
all
just
right.
rename myself here.
Ouroboros, the roller.
There's one.
Okay, let's
right
see.
there.
Okay. I need to make a saving throw for the losing force, which is indeed both giant armies. The DC for the saving throw is 5 plus the amount they lost in the battle phase. So, they lost pretty fucking extremely in both cases. So that's gonna be. It's gonna be. The first one's a DC 25. Okay, so fun stuff. So actually, what happens in the past isn't quite how I described it. As you're raining arrows down from above, the giants retreat because of the loss of their commander. They don't push through. They don't push through so hard that they're able to climb the mountain and do enough losses to the Amazons or push them out of their positions enough that they're forced to fall back. Unsuspectingly, to the Amazons, probably even as they had laid best plans, the giants, after sustaining, well, let's deal with that for a second, because you guys know how many losses you get. Casualty phase. The phase starts round and setting the next round. The faction won the battle. The faction lost their battle. 20 a morale check break. Roll of the show. They end up losing. Like a fair number of their giants. It's just like they charge in, and like about 10% of their total forces is decimated in the past, completely destroyed, and they recognize that it is just a bad situation, and they pull back. So 90% of their troops still remain, but they fall back. They lose their morale and they run. Percentage of soldiers.
How do the rolls work?
I'm gonna actually. It does say here. It's depending on the rolls. Actually, I'm gonna pump up the number of dice I rolled because the win was so catastrophically devastating. So I'm gonna upgrade how much their losses were. Yeah, that's more like it. More than a third of their entire forces in that army is destroyed before they decide to retreat. So they charge in there, just wave after wave after wave of giants until they finally realize it's just not worth trying to take the pass, and they have been deceived. And only at that point do they finally realize this was dumb, and they pull back. So the army remains, but they lose their morale, and they turn around and fucking run. Okay. So that is what happens with you guys, and we will determine what happens next in a moment. But as for the army on the other side of the... Oops, that goes to down here. 66. As for you guys, you are only going to lose... You're only going to lose like 4% of your army. So your troops are at like a 96% strength. So you guys are doing quite well. You only lost a couple of archers down in the pass, a couple people off the mountain, but you're generally still well and strong. As for the armies over there protecting the flank, we're going to see how things go with them. Just going to roll a, what's this? A DC 17, which is nuts. Or actually, it's a DC 22 is what it is. DC 22. They lose. Yeah, so they leave. DC 22. Space they start the game master the battle, setting the scene next round, complete the battle, become master. And then as for losses, yeah, they were devastated down there. So I'm gonna give them some bigger losses. Holy fuck! Ridiculous.
Inspired by
So you
silence.
thought it was bad. So the thing with the pass is that maybe this is the element. So as they go into the pass and they're getting decimated, just decimated. It's very like anyone who's running in is like, okay, we done got bamboozled. We're leaving. We just got seriously fucked up. We got lured into a trap. We're backing off. So they back off. On the other side of the pass, they do retreat, but not until 67% of their entire force is annihilated on the opposite side of the pass. And they retreat because they are. The problem was they were like they were disorganized, trying to figure out if they should push through. They didn't have a proper commander leading them. They were surrounded, and only they managed to find a break exit out and away from the Amazon army, but they have to leave behind like a significant force to occupy the Amazons. Well, a mere like 32% of their army manages to leave, and the Amazons just crush them. And the Amazons, however, only lose a similarly about 4% of their forces, so still very strong. So with that, their army has fallen back. Niobe's very happy with herself over there on the other side of the mountain. I think you start to hear blasts from the other side of the mountain. It's like 6 blasts or whatever was agreed upon. And you basically communicate through horn blasts, and you get that information. You determine that it was an absolute massacre to the giants on the other side of the mountain. And now you guys sort of rally with the Annex Valinar. She says, okay, we await the Queen's command as to what to do next. She's your friend. You say you can communicate with her telepathically. If you have advice to give her, now's the time before she makes a decision to chase and rout them or hold back with our forces. So, just so you know, you can wait for her decision or try and communicate your opinion. So basically, you could send a sending to Niobe right now if you want to try and influence her decision. Otherwise, she will make a decision for herself what the army should do next.
What do you guys?
I mean, does Ouroboros want to try to take command?
Oh shit, do I?
That's the only play, like, because again, they're basically dead at this point, so they're, as far as frightened, like, right? So if you wanted to try to get in between.
Yeah. I mean, I can't communicate to Niobe, but what I can do is tell everybody on this side to continue pushing.
Well, I can send a message for you.
Send it away. He's getting very dramatic at this point. Like, he feels like he's in a movie. So
the wind.
For some reason, he has like a number of like strange stones strapped to his chest and like a sash.
He's got like this like overcoat with one hand like in the fucking pocket and shit, like Napoleon.
Yeah, you're sitting on a chair. Got the Napoleon.
Send them. Send all of them. No, but Thalia, please let Queen Niobe know that since both sides are victorious, we will continue to rout the giants. We will follow them out of the pass.
I will send that to Niobe and tell her what Ouroboros just said.
So we are going to rout them, basically. We're gonna chase them down and rout them.
Yep.
That's a question for you, Thalia. Because it's you sending the sending. So just,
Yeah,
okay.
what Boris said is what I will say. We'll chase them
You get
up the mountain pass.
you get a message back from Niobe says what did she say? She says, Thalia, you gotta teach that boy some humility. And and then at that time there's a which is the two horn blast, which basically means charge. And the Amazons sort of scream and roar. They all begin to sort of descend down the mountain pass. So I will say, it's going to take time for the Amazons to reassert their battle lines, get into position, prepare for whatever charges. There is the option that your party could. I'm telling you all. I'm sure you don't need it, but I'm telling you all the options for future battles as well. There is the option here between battle phases if you wanted to attempt a short rest. It depends on what happens while you're short resting. Battle might engage, but battles are long, drawn out things, so maybe there's some time, especially between engagements. But it's your choice.
Does that give our armies any
No, this is what you're doing while the forces are preparing.
Oh, well,
so they're doing stuff. They're busy.
We don't need a short rest.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm just giving you the information for future battles. I'm sure you don't need them now because Silenos. Silenos, that's it. That's the whole sentence.
Silenos is Silenosing.
Because Silenos is Silenosing.
Silenos the soloer.
And the best part is if I just get a short rest, I can do that all over again in 1 hour.
That's awesome.
Let me just get a little rest and I'll kill the rest of the army.
Yeah. Just immediately go to a nap, leaning on the giant's head.
You need to change your name to Silenos. Let me solo him, Slater.
Okay. So, here's what I'm gonna do. We need to prepare for the next battle phase while all your troops get ready and you're prepared to engage. So, I need to determine the modifier for each team because some things have changed slightly. So, as far as army decay goes, you guys have. So your two armies are going to come together in this fight. You're going to have a pincer maneuver down on them, fighting from two fronts. So you're going to be considered a full army. So I'm going to give you the +1 benefit as your two armies come together. Bad guy army is going to have. I'm going to give them the -3. I'm going to give them the -3 because their army is decimated. I would say that's a fair assessment of their situation right now, numbers-wise. They just got booked up. So that's that. Commander quality, +1 for each because all of your guys are pretty good. Experience, I'm still going to give them. I'm going to give them the vet. Ooh. No, I'm giving them the recruit bonus because these guys were just born, literally, probably yesterday.
Yeah, and those hill giants are kids, just so you know. You killed kids. You killed kids.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, you did. Your guys' morale is very high, so you're getting a +1. They are going to have a -1 because they have low morale. They're not quite deserting yet. You guys have full supply lines. They have their original supply lines as well. And then as for additional bonuses, they will have their +3 bonus because their Titan God is so very near. You will have your +2 bonus because you have 2 gods fighting on your side. You will have a +1 bonus because the Amazons are equipped with very, very good arms. Their army is going to take a -2 penalty for being severely outnumbered. And that's that. I am going to give them a +2 bonus as they did fall back into Stony Crags to fortify themselves against your assault. for all the good it's going to do them. Okay, let's see. What is the benefits here?
Do we still get Katara's +1 bonus for open out the?
Not for this one, because you're fighting on a battlefield that you weren't prepared for.
Yeah.
You were prepared to fall back to battlefields, but you're pushing forward to a new battlefield, which you didn't prepare to do. So you guys are going to get 8, 9. You're going to have a +12 bonus. They're going to have -3, -4, -5, -4.
Sorry.
-4, -3. They're gonna have a 0. They have a 0 bonus. They just have a 0 bonus for their army. Who would like to roll for the Amazon army as you collide with theirs?
You want to gamble?
Go
I don't
on,
know.
Ouroboros.
It's
Let's see
the
if his
2.
luck
It's the
turned
nat
around.
20. I feel like okay.
Yeah,
Let's do
you've
this.
blown high twice. It's like
It's kind of dangerous.
say that you're not gonna do it a third time.
All right.
Oh no.
In that case, watch me. Choose.
What are they showing?
The black one, the really cool looking one.
Yeah,
Very well.
the metally one.
Indeed. Ryan, give me the load, aim, and fire command.
All right, load.
Loading.
Take
I will-
aim.
That thing is ridiculous.
Take aim, my sir.
Indeed, take aim. Presenting.
Presenting.
Fire. Fire.
Firing. That'll be a swift 19.
So, you guys ready for what the numbers come down to? You want me to tell you guys the numbers? Or you want me to narrate the scene and then tell you the numbers?
Oh,
Numbers and narrate.
yeah.
So, whereas you guys roll a 31, the Giants, in all of their low morale, fallen back, decimated armies, roll a 2.
Oh. Oh.
Oh boy.
I think it's better. I don't think there's.
I'm amazing.
I gotta say, I don't. I don't think there's really a point of setting up a board because it's going to be very similar to what just happened with Soundless. It's just going to be you guys just mowing through Giants. So I'm going to let you guys all take an opportunity to like narratively explain what happens to your character. So you guys come marching out of the pass. You're at the front of the army. The Annex Valinar sort of, and there's a from the Amazon warriors behind you as they scream, and their screams echo through the pass. And you see the Giants trying to entrench themselves in the stony crags ahead. As you look left as you come out of the pass, you see a marching army of Amazon warriors. You see the green plume of Niobe at the front as she raises her revenant scimitar to all of you. And your army goes fucking nuts for that. Their queen raises it with a blood-soaked scimitar as you charge towards the terrified giant army. And she says, and she screams out in, she'll say it in Elvish because that's sort of the traditional Valinar language. She'll say, history will know of the Amazons! And everyone freaks out. They fucking lose their minds at that shit. And they start going into a mad charge at the Giants. They're trying to fortify. It's not working out. They're not ready. I'm going to just randomly pick someone, and they're going to describe as you guys are on the front lines, vanguard running into the battle, maybe on panther back, on undead horseback, on a golden doe back.
On
Gosh,
feet
she's so
back.
scary. On feet back. Ouroboros. I rolled a 3, and on my pictures, that's you. Ouroboros. The battle is set. You're on the front lines, charging in with an Amazon army behind you to decimate the Giants. What do you do? What does that look like for Ouroboros? What does he do as he sort of enters the vanguard in that battle?
Ouroboros is gonna start running with the vanguard. And at every step he gets a little bit bigger until he's his full huge size. and he spins the Spear of Kings, loads it with lightning, throws it up into the sky, and then just like lets the lightning kind of um branch off between the two mountain passes and shit. Like for flavor. But
Yeah.
As he jumps into the air, like as he's doing his pharaoh pounce, he just calls out to the giant. He's like, all the mountains will be sundered, earth will break, and wills will be destroyed. Fall to the new king, or fall forever. Some shit.
Yeah, you throw it up there. You declare this in your giant tongue. They step back as you sort of roar this out. The army of Amazons, like a flood, go charging past you. The giants start to begin to turn, and some of them begin to try and desert. They get pushed back into the front line because they don't want to be, the person behind them doesn't want to be in the front. And the Amazons, just with that decree, sort of as you're behind them, sort of screaming that out, into the giant line, just cutting the legs out from under them. They fall to the ground, jump on top, stabbing them. Okay, we're gonna see who's next. God fucking damn it, stop rolling above 5. I'm rolling too good. All right, there we go. Katara. The Amazons have fully punched into the giant line. You come riding in on your undead steed. How do you contribute? What does Katara do to contribute to the battle? What does her fight look like?
Well, I mean, I was gonna set myself up at the retreat area.
Okay.
Well, because they just went into the group, so I'm not gonna do Maddening Darkness there. But I will do Maddening Darkness basically where they're running to, and just keep a giant swirling blackness there to terrify them.
All right, so Katara, you see this and you kind of, being you're not one to be all like you're more keen.
I like go find a perch. I like go like Simba on Pride Rock moment, and then I just like
you divert your horse around. Your horse is fast, and you realize that some of the Amazonian horse archers are sort of at your flank as well. They've just sort of seen your movement and sort of join you. And as you're riding, they're hampering the giant line off to the side as you guys charge around them. You make their way to the flank, and as some giants are like are running, they kind of stop as you like with your horse on the final craggy peak, and you just put your hands out, and the darkness appears, goes, and giants just scream in pain and suffrage as they are consumed by this maddening darkness. At the back line, you hit them at the flank, and they know fear there as ever they have. Okay.
Yeah, and that's there for 10 minutes,
so that's great. Some of them have sense enough to run around them,
yeah.
But it's just like there's just too many people, and some of them get funneled into it, and it just can't be helped.
I do not roll chaos. Okay.
That's great. That's lovely. Thalia, turn. Are you with us, Thalia? You want to take your turn, or are you busy? Or... Okay, cool. You're muted.
Yeah, I don't need to describe my stuff. I'm just gonna buff people.
Okay, sure. So we'll say Thalia on the back line, astride some panthers, similar to Katara. The stark opposite to Katara, rides up onto the top of a mountainous ridge, and it's just like casting celestial boons across the battlefield to keep everyone strong and doing well. And that is going to bring us to, we'll see between Silenos and Yasi here. That will be Silenos. So Silenos, as the battle is raging and the giant line is just being decimated, what's going on there? What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, me. I'm just gonna be like flying up and down the front lines, just kind of defending the people that are in the melee. So like maybe as Ouroboros is kind of jumping in and attacking, as one goes to hit all from across the battlefield, like shoot the club out of his hand and some Amazons that are getting taken down, I'll like leap off of my deer onto the back of like a hill giant with the scimitar, and yeah, I'll just be kind of going up and down
Hell yeah.
supporting the front lines.
Fantastic. There's a moment where like maybe Thalia is like on the top of a ridge, shooting out magics to try and help out the party. And this one giant, this like half dead giant, is like arms missing. He comes up with a club, and it's just got this perfect shot on Thalia. And from like some 500 feet off, Silenos arrow just sails by, giants and Amazon alike, and just takes that guy right in the head, and he falls back. And you're just out there, scimitars, while fighting alongside the Valinor. Very exceptional combat. And last but not least, Gyasi is as you've been fighting hard, and the dregs of the battle are in panic, just desperately trying to die with some decency. What are you doing? How are you contributing to the fight?
Well, my contribution is very minimal. I'm going to run along with everybody else towards the line, and then I'm going to ethereal jaunt myself all the way to the back of the line, kind of opposite of wherever Katara's frowning madness is going on. And I'm going to find a little boulder, and I'm going to sit on the boulder. I'm going to take out a thing of wine. I'm going to set my sword across my lap. And as giants come running towards me, I'm just going to raise a hand and go, no.
So basically, this is the situation for the giants. They see the Amazon charge. They try and hold strong. The front line just gets fucking slaughtered on the first charge, and Ouroboros is there, like, proclaiming the doom of all who would oppose him. Silenos is just raging through them with sharp scimitar blows. The Amazons with spear and sword and arrow as well. Some of them off to the side are getting just destroyed by horse archers. Any who have the good sense and cowardice to retreat is confronted by the fucking Witch of Death and just consumes them in an orb of blackness. And for the scant few giants that manage to get around all of those terrible things, with Thalia there up buffing everybody, maybe like you just see that one guy by himself, that one hill giant is like, he's running through the battle. He's got like 6 arrows in him, and he's like, and he's like up against the ridge, thinking he might have got away, and he hears, oh no, and looks over and sees this black cat man just like no, puts his wine down and just is like an ethereal warp speed of sound just there, and just cuts him to ribbons like fucking Baxeldon against the Beholder in Vox Machina. Just tears the guy to pieces, and then returns to his glass of wine before the giant can even hit the ground.
And I'll dash a little bit of on the ground, raise the glass, here's to Dionysus.
I was about to say, very Dionysus of you.
Dionysus would be very proud of how fucking intimidating and just maddening this whole. Every giant has trauma. Anyone who gets out of here is just the worst trauma.
That's good. Send them back with that trauma so they can tell the tale.
So in this final pincer assault with Katara, the horse archers on the back line, and Gyasi just skirmishing any giant lucky enough to find his way around Katara, they lose of this army against the force of the Amazons. They lose 98% of their troops. A mere 2% of giants actually manages to escape the battlefield, wounded or otherwise. And Niobe seems quite content to let those few tiny ones to run. And she, like, at the end of the battle, she's caked in blood. Her eyes are red. She's probably using her Ares powers to, like, stay standing, and she just charged the front. She gets to the top of some ridge, and she sees, like, this stone giant and, like, 2 hill giants running in the distance, whoever else. She says, go! Run back to your Titan! Let them know we're coming! And the Amazons just... and, like, let out these horrible war screams that will haunt those giants the day they die, which may be coming quite soon. And with that, a decisive victory for the Amazons. So they run, that's a 98% defeat for them. As for the actual remaining Amazons, that is going to be, they take some fair blows. They charge the Amazons on their own turf, and they will lose 10% of what they had left. So they had 96, so they will be down to 86% strength. But they're still, that doesn't account for wounded, so there might be wounded that they can bring back to rebolster their ranks if they can get them on their feet. But the army is at an 86% strength after facing a huge giant army. And with that, you have all won against this retaliating giant force. The battle ahead at the capital of the giants is going to be one that is far more difficult than this, as they will probably hear the danger the Amazons, the demi-thoughts, and the gods presented. But we will deal with that next week.
Dude, my fucking session